A service of KIBMradio.com, the Internet's home for an all old-time radio.
This is Walter O'Keefe, inviting you to listen in on the Nightline. Tonight, live the incredible life of ages yet to come, in a time that might be 1,000,000 years from now, on X-1. Now, an incredible story of the world beyond.
Countdown for blast off. X-5, 4, 3, 2, X-1, fire. From the far horizons of the unknown come tales of new dimensions in time and space. These are stories of the future, adventures in which you'll live in 1,000,000, could be years on 1,000, maybe worlds. The National Broadcasting Company, in cooperation with Galaxy Science Fiction Magazine, presents X-1. Tonight, The Category Inventor by Arthur Sellings. But first, hear this. I don't have time to tell you all about the many things that make Pabst Blue Ribbon a better-tasting, more thirst-quenching beer. Besides, you're more interested in how it tastes than how it's made. But one thing you should know. Experience is the most important ingredient in any beer. And Pabst is the product of America's oldest national brewer, established 1844. Pabst of Milwaukee. Now, X-1, as Nelson Olmsted stars in The Category Inventor.
Frankly, I didn't expect to have the trouble. The morning that it happened was just like any other morning. I came into the locker room and took off my coat, and through the open doors I could hear the welcome sound of the boys warming up. Perhaps I should have realized something was wrong when Kurt Bergson, the orchestra manager, came up to me.
Gilbert, how are you this morning?
Fine, Mr. Bergson. I'm not late, am I?
No, not late. You must have left the house early this morning.
Yes, I did. It was such a nice day, I thought I'd walk. Luckily, I don't play the double bass. Bassoon isn't so hard to carry.
You didn't get your mail this morning?
No, I didn't. Mail usually comes about 10 o'clock. Well, I better get out there and warm up.
Gilbert, I wish you had gotten your mail this morning. You see, I have to let you go.
What? But what do you mean? Why? What's the matter?
Well, you understand.
But there's a concert tonight and tomorrow night. Who could you get to replace me? Well, where can you get a bassoonist? Where? Oh, no.
I'm sorry, Gilbert. It had to happen.
Oh, no. Not the bassoon. The timpani I can understand and the piano, but not the bassoon. I'm going out there.
Don't, Gilbert. Don't. You'll just be unhappy.
Now, let me by, Mr. Bergson. I've got to see it with my own eyes. Of course it was bound to happen. Where my music stand and chair had been stood a gleaming coppery robot. His music stand was attached to a bracket that came out from his forehead, and his electronic scanning eyes were blinking and ready. He had 7 fingers on each fully articulated hand. His lips were precast in perfect bassoonist embouchure, with flexi-plasti butyl skin adjusting to the reed. I could hear the softly whirring motor of his constant pressure breath apparatus. It had come. The robot bassoonist.
Now, Gilbert, honey, you mustn't be depressed. It's not your fault. The world doesn't understand creative artists anymore.
No, bassoon player isn't creative, Marge. He executes.
Well, anyway, he's an artist. That means he's got intelligence and imagination. And that means he's got a head start when it comes to a new job, doesn't it, honey?
Sure. Yeah, head start. Marge, I tell you, there isn't any use. I've been checking into the category office every day. All I know is how to play the bassoon. Well, we'll just have to get used to being on reserve.
But what will we tell the children, dear?
And then, of course, one day the household robot broke down in the middle of breakfast.
Gilbert!
Well, what is it? What?
The robot right in the middle of getting breakfast, it exploded.
I'll ring Sitter.
Oh, but the children will be late to school. Call in, Michael.
Well, there's not much use in their hurrying if there's no breakfast, is there?
Well, I'm trying. You think it's easy making breakfast by hand?
No.
Don't just stand there. Do something.
Oh.
The children won't get any breakfast, and they've got enough to put up with.
Well, what do you mean by that? What exactly have they got to put up
Look,
with?
I haven't got time to argue with you. Which one of these tubes is the orange juice concentrate?
I think that's ketchup.
Well, turn it off.
Oh, you jammed it.
Oh, it's been like this ever since you stopped.
Ever since I what?
Oh, keep your hand over the ketchup. It's flooding the kitchen.
Ever since what? Ever since they put me on reserve, that's what it is, isn't it? Listen, if you think... Oh, that confounded robot always in the way.
If you're going to use foul language, you might at least keep your voice down. You know what sharp ears the children have.
Oh, so now I'm a corrupter of my own children. Well, let me tell you... What's that?
The Henomath. I said it to synthesize fresh eggs. It's out of control. Oh, Gilbert, there goes the ketchup again. Do something.
You are listening to the Category Inventor. Tonight's attraction on X-1. Each year, increasing thousands of Americans stricken with multiple sclerosis turn to Cadet Inventor.
Finally, I got the ketchup and orange juice faucets turned off and the Henomat pulled out of the socket. I looked down, and there was our household robot on the floor. It was all its fault, it and millions of its kind. Suddenly, all the frustration of the last few months focused on the robot, and I kicked it.
Well, now I've seen everything. A grown man actually kicking a poor, defenseless robot.
I was expecting the mechanic from Robot Center when the door buzzed. I opened it, but it wasn't the mechanic. It was my father-in-law.
Hello, son. Surprise, surprise.
Oh, hello. I wasn't expecting you. George is a politician. They haven't yet found a robot that can take that trade over. Right behind them was the mechanic from Robot Service. However, he wasn't the mechanic, he explained.
Actually, you see, I'm a robot therapist, specializing in robot psychiatry and robot synaptic stimulation.
Well, what do you mean, therapist? I sent for a mechanic.
Now, you just leave it to me, sir. Where is the robot?
In the closet. I dumped it there after it broke down.
Oh, too bad, too bad. It would have been better if you'd left it where it fell. Failure attitudes often give invaluable pointers to the cause of breakdown. In here?
Yeah, that's right, in the kitchen closet. How do you like that? They got psychiatrists for robots.
Well, certainly, son, that's the way things are now. We're branching out, keeping one step ahead of the robots all the time. Man's got to be adaptable. Now, you take old Tom Angel. Old Tom up and registers himself as the first of a new generation of reading card verse writers. He was first in, so he got charter rights. Now, you got the idea? Once you get in the progressive mood, you're all set.
A funny kind of progress, dusting off a defunct custom.
Yeah, well, nowadays a man doesn't have to fight for a job. All he has to do is to invent one. That's one of the platforms of our party, the party that stands up for the reservist rights. Why, you know, it was our party who saw to it that every family worker and reservist alike had a robot of his own by inalienable rights.
Oh, I'm sick and tired of having a robot of my own. I'd be perfectly happy if there weren't any robots at all, especially the ones that sit in their chromium-plated tails in chromium-plated orchestras playing chromium-plated bassoons.
What? Why, Gilbert, you don't know what you're saying. You're talking like a Luddite.
Oh, I am I? What's a Luddite?
It's history. They were the people who broke up the first power machines 200 years ago. Well, if that's the way you
Hold
feel...
it now, wait a minute, hold it.
Well, what is it? What's the matter now?
Pop, I've got it. Excuse me, I'm on my way.
Mr. Perry, I just gave your robot a tape audio in there, and the results were sad.
Yeah, well, look.
Sad.
Yeah, look, I'm busy. I'll talk to you later.
That robot has developed a severe guilt complex.
Guilt complex?
That's right. Oh, they're sensitive, you know. Once they get the idea their owners aren't happy, they brood about it. They make mistakes, and that makes them feel more guilty. You just have to keep these robots understanding that you're happy.
Well, finally, I got away from the robot psychiatrist. The category office was crowded with reservists hanging around with the slender hope of getting in a hot tip. I went into the first booth and spoke to the robot clerk.
Yes, sir. You wish to file a category. I have your name and other information now. Nature of category.
Neo-Luddite.
Repeat, please.
Neo-Luddite.
Definition?
The lawful opposition to the robot economy. Now, let's see a robot take over that job.
Classification of category.
Political.
Your application will take a short time to check. This machine sends a copy to the registry below. They carry a complete file of all categories.
Oh, is that it?
I'm sorry, sir, but your application has been rejected.
What?
The category office extends its sincere regrets and trusts this will not deter you from making further application at the category office.
Now, you listen here, you metallic mouthpiece. That application is legitimate. Now, nobody's got any right to reject it. Now, you can't just stand here.
Sir, you are overexcited. The supervisor is on his way.
Ah, Mr. Perry, you're upset, eh? Well, you understand we dislike having to turn down anyone's application.
Now, listen. Now, that category I put forward is perfectly good. I've got a right to be heard. An opposition party is just what's needed.
Well, of course it is, Mr. Perry. I was only trying to tell you that you couldn't register that category because it was registered years ago.
What?
Yes, the Humans Only movement is a recognized party, even though it's never managed to win an election or attract many adherents. But the movement does have state backing, funds, officers, the same proportion of salary to officials, members, the same as the two big parties. Better luck next time, Mr. Perry.
There was only one thing to do. Start all over again with some of the lines. Study and study until I could do it as well as I could play the bassoon. But what line? And how could I be sure that it wouldn't be taken over by the robots? I was walking along the street, and then suddenly a soundy ad jumped up out of a hydrant at me, and I popped it and listened.
Are you on reserve? Are you tired of being unemployed? Don't fret. Contact the C.P. Jones Bureau, Category Inventors, Room 53, Universe Building.
Just as I got to the Universe Building, the doors swung open and two big bruisers came through carrying a little old man.
You let me go, you hear? Let me go! I'll have a writ served on you. A man's got his rights. Now you let me go. Let me go. Oh,
are you all right?
I'll have a writ served on him.
Are you hurt?
No.
Oh. Well, I wonder if you can help me. This is the Universe Building, isn't it?
Yes, it is. Would you mind dusting off my jacket?
Yes. Well, I'm looking for somebody here. I wonder if you could help me.
Robbers. Throwing a man out after all these years. 10 years I've worked in this building.
Oh, you work here. Well, then perhaps you could help me find...
Yes, I had my own office. The C.B. Jones Bureau.
You're C.P. Jones, the Category Inventor?
You heard of me?
I was coming to see if you could fix me up.
Oh, well, it's just as well you didn't. I didn't have a category in stock. As a matter of fact, son, I never did manage to invent a single category, except the one of Category Inventor. Well, they finally caught up with me, revised my category a week ago, and canceled my license. Say, would you like to have a drink?
No, I don't have any money, only reserve script.
Well, that's good enough for an emergency. Come on. You see, it didn't cost him anything. My fee was only payable out of salary if and when I delivered. Once a year, the accounting office sent over a robot auditor to check the books. Oh, I had 2 or 3 sets of books, but they finally caught up with me, and now I've got to invent another job. I used to be a trapeze artist in the circus. I was the oldest trapeze man in the game, but I got too shaky. Have another drink.
Yeah, well, it's my turn to buy.
All right, but say, after we finish this round, let's move to a real bar.
About the fourth bar, we got playing a parlor game, inventing make-believe categories, you know. You go from the inane to the obscene and back again. And we got thrown out of one bar, and then we started on beer, and, that made us sad. And C.P. Jones began to recite poetry.
How am I to face the odds of man's bedevilment in God's? I, a stranger and afraid, in a world I never made.
Say, did I ever show you a one-handed nip-up from the chandelier? I used to be an acrobat, you know. Alley...
I woke up with the sun in my eyes, and I saw a figure moving. Is that you, Marge?
If you want breakfast, you'll have to go out. They haven't delivered the new robot yet. Do you want all this trash?
What trash?
These papers in your pockets and a note.
What does it say?
Oh, I'm not surprised you can't read this morning. I'm surprised you're breathing this morning.
No, please, Marge.
All right. It says, umbrological parallax tracer. What's that?
Umbrological parallax tracer. That's it.
What's it?
That's it. Give me my pants. I've got something to attend to.
Well, I'm glad to see you, Mr. Perry. Trying again, eh? Category, umbrological, parallax, tracer. Well, most interesting. What exactly is that?
Well, it involves ascertaining the degrees of parallax for the current umbrological investigation. It's not easy to explain in a few words.
Of course. I thought it would probably be too complex for me to grasp. I'll check it through. Frankly, I don't understand half the details of the categories that we... let's see now. Oh, dear.
What's the matter?
The West Town office has already admitted an application this morning for an umbrological parallax correlator.
Uh-huh.
Now, you'll have to prove that the two functions are distinct and separate.
Umbrological parallax That wouldn't have been a Mr. C.P. Jones, would it?
Why, yes. You know each other?
Well, yes, we should have met this morning and filed our categories together. But a parallax tracer is entirely different from a parallax correlator. You see, a parallax can be correlated in a dialectical opposition in a conjunction to and with it being traced. Now, to put it more simply...
Well, that's perfectly all right. I'll see that the distinction is made. Well, your charter will be mailed to you within a few days. I suppose you want to share offices with Mr. Jones?
Why, yes, sir. Yes, I suppose so.
Very well, then. I'll have the offices assigned. Congratulations, Mr. Perry. You're off reserve.
Well, how do you like the new office, Gilbert, my boy?
Oh, figure you almost cleared the pitch for me by filing.
Well, I didn't have your address, and I didn't know you'd get the same idea. I just remember we laughed a lot over it and thought it one of the best phony categories we'd made up. Of the printable ones,
yes.
Anyway, I did change the end to give you a loophole.
Oh, of course, we're cheating, aren't we?
Cheating? Well, I'm not. I've already looked up umbrology for a start.
There isn't any such word.
Well, if there was, it would be a science of shadows. Oh. Now, all we have to do is find the parallaxes.
But you're not serious.
Serious? Of course I'm serious. The world's so complicated these days, everyone's such a specialist that no one can be sure yet what's fact and what isn't. We're the only umbrologists in the world. Who can question us?
Yes, I suppose that's true.
Why, the scope's enormous.
Anyway, we're off reserve. We've got a job.
And I'm not letting any grass grow under my feet here. Now, don't just stand there. Our robot hasn't arrived yet. Give me a hand with this filing cabinet. We're going to need it.
You're right. We got our work cut out for us. Let me tell you, the life of an umbrological parallax tracer isn't all beer and Skittles. Let's get to work.
Fred Collins again, and I'll have a word for you about tonight's X-1 in a moment.
On your weekends, at home or in your car, or at the beach, or wherever you are, take a radio along and let Monitor take you along to wherever exciting and interesting and entertaining things are happening anywhere in the world. And sometimes under it, like this.
This is Bob Haynes speaking to you from the central control room aboard the U.S. submarine Sea Lion on this UDT exercise called the Bottom Lockout. We're about ready to dive. That sound you just heard was the decompression. The top bridge hatch is closed. We're all secured now. There we go.
Yes, from a ride in a Navy submarine to anywhere in the world where exciting and interesting and entertaining things are happening, Monitor takes you there, making your weekends brighter with celebrities, music, news, and sports. This is Frank Blair inviting you to join us on Monitor on most of these NBC stations.
You have just heard X-1, presented by the National Broadcasting Company in cooperation with Galaxy Science Fiction Magazine, which this month features Daniel F. Galloway's unusual story titled If Money. Read it in Galaxy Magazine on your newsstand today. Tonight, X-1 has brought you The Category Inventor, a story from the pages of Galaxy written by Arthur Sellings and adapted for radio by Ernest Kenoy. Featured in our cast were Nelson Olmsted as Gilbert, Hetty Galen as Marge, Wendell Holmes as George, Joseph Bell as the serviceman, Alan Bergman as the supervisor, Bert Cowlin as Kurt, and Edwin Cooper as Mr. Jones. This is Fred Collins speaking. X-1 was directed by Daniel Sutter and is an NBC Radio Network production.
There's excitement in the air at night, and Nightline brings it to you. Hear Nightline with Walter O'Keefe, next on most of these NBC stations.
The magic island of the South Seas lies hidden behind its mysterious bank of magnetic fog. The Gregory yacht and the Johnson rescue boat are lashed together, both held captive at Pier 5 on this weird island of Euclidia. On board the yacht, Mrs. Gregory and Captain Bradford are planning everything as exactly as possible, for at 8 o'clock, just after dark, they're going to try to escape from the island in Johnson's boat. Jerry and Joan are starting along the pier to the island, beginning what may prove to be a very dangerous adventure, as they will try to gain control of the radio and power chambers on the island. It is now just 6:30. 1 hour and a half before the plans must be completed.
Now you must remember, Jerry, that we are to speak of nothing out of the ordinary until we are in the sound channel.
Hey, Joan, why can't we use that sound channel elevator to go down in? You know, the one we came up in last time?
We will do so, Jerry, if we are able to get it to open for us. Remember that we must ask the control chamber for permission to enter.
Well, when those guards hear that we've got the antidote to bring those scientists out of their sleep, they'll be glad enough to let us go down in there.
But, Jerry, we haven't...
Yes, we have. You forgot it, so I brought it all right.
But, Jerry, Captain
Bradford...
I
know.
That...
Captain Bradford said for you to carry it, but you walked right out without it, so I stuck it in my pocket.
But, Jerry... Oh, Jerry, you stepped right on my foot.
Well, if you don't quit arguing with me, I might have to step on your neck. Now, listen. I've got the stuff Captain Bradford said would bring those Euclidean scientists back to their senses again. And don't give me any more argument.
Oh, Jerry, I begin to understand.
Oh, don't hurry. Next week will be a swell time to start understanding me.
But I did not mean to be stupid, Jerry. You need not be so angry with me. I was not trying to misunderstand you.
Maybe not, but you did just as good a job of it as if you tried to.
I am sorry, Jerry. And of course we must hurry to the laboratory. G47 will be very angry if we do not wake him and the other scientists as soon as possible.
Now you're coming alive again. Okay, here's the elevator. Recite that hocus pocus that opens it up.
Cleostra at the main elevator shaft. Cleostra at the main elevator shaft.
Maybe they won't let us go down there till we explain to them that we've got the stuff they want.
That should not be necessary. The guard must have heard us discussing it. Yes, Jerry. The elevator is opening again. The top of the shaft covering is arising from the island.
I guess you're right at that. Is this the same elevator we got stuck in when the submarine lock broke and flooded the 5th level?
Yes, Jerry. This is the same elevator.
We can sure pick the nicest places to play.
I think that will not happen again.
I think it better not.
Now the door will open, Jerry.
Now, don't recite all that to me again, Joan. The last time we were in this thing, you said the door will open again. And it didn't. Let me figure this one out for myself.
Why are you so angry with me, Jerry?
Oh, I'm not angry. I'm in a hurry. Here we go. Well, the floor sounds the same anyway. Now, I'll push this thing for the 5th level.
That is right, Jerry.
Now, and down we go. They can hear us talking in the control chamber, can't they?
Yes, Jerry. All we say can be heard.
Well, I'm glad of that. There goes the 1st level.
Yes. But why do you say you are glad we may be heard in the control chamber?
Because if anything happens to the elevator this time, I'm going to yell until somebody comes and gets us out.
We have passed the 2nd level.
Yeah. I wonder if we'll find all those Euclidean scientists still asleep when we get to the laboratory.
Captain Bradford said he was afraid they would be asleep for hours.
Oh, there's the 3rd level. Yeah. Tex did act kind of worried about how long the gas would keep them asleep.
G47 will be very angry with Captain Bradford when he wakes up and thinks what the captain's formula did to him.
Well, it's his own fault. That's the 4th level. And if G47 hadn't been in such a hurry to get his hands on his formula, well, Tex would have told him to look out for that gas explosion if it didn't work just right.
He will blame the captain in some way, Jerry. I dread to think what will happen when he wakes up.
Well, I guess this is as far as we go.
Yes, the door will open automatically now.
That's what you said the last time.
But look, Jerry, it is really opening now.
Oh, that's good. I could get nervous awful easy in one of these things. Well, let's get going.
Yes, Jerry.
Now, where's that laboratory?
Right this way, Jerry.
Huh? Oh, yeah. Yeah, I guess I'm kind of turned around.
Now, right in here, Jerry. Hurry inside.
Boy, you sure thought fast when you steered me in here, Joan. I pretty near forgot and went to the laboratory.
And you thought very swiftly, Jerry, up there on the surface of the island, when you spoke as if we were taking something from Captain Bradford to wake up those men in the chemical chamber.
Well, now that we're both thinking, let's get busy on why we're playing hide and seek down here. Where do you start to clear the way of the radio room?
There is a detailed chart of the island on the work table over there. I will point out the strategic points.
Okay, but let's get in some corner of the room where our voices don't sound like we're hollering down a well.
Come with me. We will find a zone of soundproofing near the chart table.
Well, our feet don't make any more noise. Hey, our voices are all right now.
Yes, Jerry. That was the end of the sound testing zone.
Swell. Now, where's this plan of the island?
Right here. Is it not beautiful?
Hey, I don't see any maps or drawings. What are you talking about?
This, Jerry. This shining cylinder is an exact replica of the island.
That thing?
Yes, of course.
Golly whiskers, Joan. Well, that looks like a big tin can, about the size of a 10-gallon can, with a cogwheel on the top of it.
Exactly, Jerry. And that is what this island looks like. That is a perfect scale model of the island.
Gee. And that cogwheel on the top is the piers?
Yes. Those arms extending from the upper rim are the piers, and those little metal projections, shaped like a falling drop of water, those are the control chambers on the surface of the island.
Boy. And all these little outline places in the sides. They show the levels, don't they? Now, let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's the 5th level, isn't it?
Yes, and you may see the outlines of the submarine locks there. All of the submarines are at this level. They are kept here so they will still be free of the ocean floor when the island is submerged. Then the submarines may enter or leave their locks, and the surface of the island will be under 40 feet of water.
Boy, I'd like to be able to take that thing back home with me. Wouldn't I have something to show the boys and girls?
It weighs nearly 1,000 pounds, Jerry. I think you would have some trouble carrying it.
Yeah, I'd have to use both hands for that. Well, we've had enough fun. Now, where's a picture of the insides of this funny island? We've got to make our plans and move fast. Somebody's coming to investigate us if we don't hurry it up.
You may see the inside of the island with this model, Jerry.
Huh? You mean look through that steel?
No, this is not the transparent steel. This is opaque. But it opens up at the touch of a finger. So.
Well, giggling goldfish.
Jerry, you know very well that a
goldfish
does not giggle.
Oh, I know that. But I'll bet he would if he could see this. Look, Joan. The whole thing is opened up. Each level just slides out to the side as if there were little shells.
Is it not wonderful, Jerry?
Sure is, Joan. It's about the most wonderful thing like that I ever saw. Gee, look. Look. There's a little submarine in the locks.
And there is the chemical laboratory where the chemists are all asleep.
Oh, yeah. And we're near asleep here. Now, get your nose down close to this, Joan, and show me where every important control room on the island is.
The main radio control room, as you know, is there on the surface of the island.
Yeah, can't we do anything to that from here?
Not directly, but I will show you how we may handicap the operation of the beams later.
Never mind later. Do it now.
Very well. Now, down here, in the 10th level, the last one in the island proper, are located all the tremendous turbines and motors and generators that furnish the power and light for all devices on the island.
Then that's the place we've got to hit for, right away.
No, Jerry, we must not do that. That would spoil all our plans.
Well, I don't see how. If we can get to that machinery, we can shut off their power, can't we?
We could not get into the power chambers. Even the men who work there are locked in. Then they are relieved at intervals by an armed guard who lock a new group of men in there. And anyone other than the workmen assigned to that section who even appeared on that level would be punished severely and given no chance to explain.
Gosh, that doesn't sound so good.
But we do not want to go into that section, Jerry.
No? Why don't we?
Because if we could shut off the power down there, we would never get out of the island. Every door and elevator would lock automatically and remain sealed until the repairs were completed. Have you forgotten our experience in the elevator? Were we not locked in there?
Yeah. This begins to look not so easy, Joan.
Oh, do not lose heart, Jerry. Even if we could do all that safely, we would not want to. As we must have the power in the radio chamber when we are ready to send the message to Johnson. And we would be defeating our own purpose if we cut off the power.
Well, then what can we do that's any good?
Look into that little chamber, Jerry. The solid round one directly beneath the radio chamber. Just a few feet under the surface of the island.
Yeah, I see it. What's that?
That is the main electrical dispatch room. All the power and lighting circuits on the island pass through a series of master keys and switches there. And we can nearly control the whole island if we can take over that room.
But can we take it over?
It will require courage, Jerry, and what you call a lot of luck. But I think we may hope to do it.
Well, you know your way around here and up there better than I do. What's the plan?
We must go into the radio control chamber, directly above that one, and overcome the guards. Then repeat the procedure in the room below.
How many guards?
There will be only 2 in the upper chamber, I think, and 1 in the lower.
Well, that doesn't sound too bad. They've got ray guns, I guess.
Yes, powerful ones. Not like these little ones we have, and... Oh, Jerry, I have just thought of something.
Huh? Good or bad?
Wonderful. It is in this room that the protective paint is kept. There, Jerry, in that round vat.
What do you mean, protective paint?
The paint which will protect us against the rays for our hands and face.
You mean with that paint on our hands and faces, they can't hurt us with their ray guns?
Yes, Jerry. We have on Euclidean cloth garments, and with that paint on our hands and faces, the rays will be harmless to us.
Well, then let's get into the paint, quick.
Someone is in the room.
Can they see us?
Not yet. We are hidden here.
Then work fast. Shoot your ray gun off. I'll fall like you shot me. You tell them you caught me here.
Jerry,
Do as I say. I've got an idea. Shoot that gun so I can fall. Quick.
It is just before dark on the magic island of Euclidia. Captain Bradford and Mrs. Gregory are on the captive yacht, secretly transferring their valuables and navigation instruments to the diesel-motored cruiser which Johnson brought to the island to rescue them with. However, the boat was captured, but not Johnson, who transferred to another boat and is waiting somewhere north of the island for word from the prisoners. Jerry and Joan have gone into the lower levels of the island, trying to find a way to gain control of the Euclidean radio and power rooms. As they examine a scale model of the island in the sound channel, someone enters. Joan fires her ray gun, and Jerry falls as if the ray had put him to sleep. It is 1 minute later.
Was that the door?
Yes, Jerry. The guard is gone. You need not whisper.
Boy, was that a close call. And did you think fast when you told him you'd caught me in here and put me to sleep with a ray gun?
That was the only thing I could think of to tell him. And he knows this ray gun I have is one of the 300-second type, so he expects you to sleep for 5 minutes.
Oh, how long is it since I had to take a tumble when he came in the room?
Exactly 59 seconds from the time I fired the ray gun until you heard the door close. I was looking at my personal chronometer when the guard came in.
Oh, cut out that personal chronometer stuff. That's the wristwatch to you from now on. Personal chronometer.
Very well, Jerry. But we must hurry and do something now. We have not more than 2 minutes. Then the guard will return to take you to the confinement cells as I requested.
Yeah, and you sure fixed it fine for me. Telling that mug I'd stay asleep all right until he could go and get permission about putting me in a cell.
There was nothing else to do, Jerry, and we are fortunate in being in this particular chamber.
What's so good about it?
It is the only room on the island without direct communication to the control rooms. If we had been found in any other room, the guard would have used the speaker to the control room and taken you off at once.
Well, let's get a move on, or he'll have a swell chance to catch us here and tote me off anyway. Where can we go?
We have no choice. We must use the noisy elevator we used to leave this room before.
Okay, come on. We can talk some other place. If we can find a place where they can't hear us. Hey, I don't like my voice changing like that.
It is because we are crossing another sound zone in this room, Jerry.
Well, I know why it is, but I don't have to like it, do I?
Here is the elevator, Jerry. We must hurry.
Yeah. We have to yank this door open, don't we?
You open it yourself, if that is what you mean.
Well, that's it. Here we go. Now where?
I must think a moment, Jerry.
Think fast, then. When that guy comes back and finds we're gone, he'll know this elevator's the only place we could possibly be.
That is right, Jerry. Push the indicator for the 4th level. We will go up and leave the car there. I think I know where we may find a room in which to discuss our plans further.
Here goes. Boy, they sure skipped the soundproof gag on this one.
This noisy elevator may help us a great deal, Jerry. No one can hear us talking in here, and the progress of this elevator is not recorded in the control room.
I don't mind the noise, but what if that guard has come into the room we just left? Won't he hear this thing going up?
He will know we use it even if he does not hear it.
Yeah, and if he heard that, he'll know what floor we stopped it on, too.
Get out quickly, Jerry. I will send the car on up to another level.
Okay. Boy, listen to the quiet.
You cannot listen to quiet, Jerry. Silence is complete absence of sound, and you cannot hear an absence of sound.
Golly whiskers. Here we are in the middle of this crazy island with Euclideans hunting us with ray guns, and you stop to give me a lecture on how still is quiet.
If you are not more quiet, we will soon meet those ray guns.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, Joan. Well, where do we go now?
We will hardly be heard here unless someone comes this way searching for us. Now, Jerry, I think this is what we must do.
Go on.
Just around this curve in this channel is one of the tiny cubicles occupied by a guard. We must take that station over.
And the guard's got a ray gun?
Yes, Jerry. And his ray gun is not just one of these harmless, sleep-producing ones we have.
Gee whiz, Joan. How do we do it?
We will have to catch him off his guard for an instant and put him to sleep with one of our ray guns.
Yeah, but even if we get a chance to do that before he uses his gun on us, won't he have that protective paint on his hands and face so the rays won't hurt him any?
Yes, he will undoubtedly have that. But I have noticed the Euclideans many times putting the paint on. They are very careless, Jerry. They hardly ever bother to put it on the backs of their necks or behind their ears. We could easily put the guard to sleep if he would turn his back.
Yeah, and if we only had a few minutes more down in that sound room, we could have covered ourselves with that paint, and by this time that guard will be down there looking for us.
And we must hurry, Jerry. Now we will walk quietly around the first turn in this wall. Then, I have it. You will go and speak to the guard. Tell him who you are. Explain that you are looking for the laboratory to wake the scientists up with a formula Captain Bradford has given you.
Yeah? Then what?
Pretend to be very stupid, Jerry. Even more so than you seem at times.
Hey!
Then you will get the guard to come out of his little niche in the wall and turn to point the way for you. He will naturally point toward the general elevator, as none of the Euclideans ever think of using this noisy one.
Oh, hurry up, Joan. Then what?
Then he will have his back turned this way, and I shall use my 300-second ray on him. In that way, I will be sure of hitting the back of his head. And we can only hope he was careless in putting on the protective paint.
Wait a minute. How straight do those guns shoot?
You have seen them work, Jerry.
Well, I mean, how much does the beam scatter? How far do I have to be away from the guy so he won't hit me with a ray?
You may be within inches of him, Jerry, The beam will not be wider than his head, and I will not miss.
Well, if you do, don't stay there 5 minutes for me to wake up. Get yourself out of this and run for the yacht.
I will stay with you, Jerry.
Hey, listen. That elevator we just got out of, it's running again.
So it is. It is going down again. That means the guard in the sound channel has decided we came this way and will come after us.
Listen a minute, Joan. It just passed this floor going down. He'll be in it in a minute and be up here. We'd better hurry and get to this other guard.
No, wait, Jerry. We must not try that now.
Why not?
We wouldn't have time to dispose of the other guard before this one would come along and find us. And if we were seen with ray guns in our hands and the Euclidean guard on the floor in front of us, I'm afraid we might never get back to my mother's boat.
Okay, but what can we do about this fellow coming up in the elevator?
It is nearly 100 feet to the other guard. If we are very quiet, we may possibly be able to capture the one who comes out of the elevator without alarming the lookout.
Okay, we're on our way. What then?
Then we must stand on either side of the door. You over there, Jerry, and I will stand here, so. Now remember to keep as nearly flat against the wall as possible.
Okay, I'm all set. And remember about the back of his head.
The elevator is starting now.
Yeah, and he's only got one floor to come.
When you hear the magnets catch again, the car will be at this floor.
He's getting nearer now.
Have you your ray gun ready?
Yeah, if I don't get nervous and shoot myself.
Hush, Jerry. Ready.
Oh, boy. He went right on past. I thought for a minute he was coming out on this floor.
He did open the door just a crack, but I think he remembered the guard on this floor, and he knew that we could not have passed him.
Listen. There he goes. He didn't stop on the third level either.
Then we have more time than I had hoped for.
We don't need time. All we need is nerve enough to get after that guard up there.
I am not sure we need even do that, Jerry. I think I see how we may reach the power control room in comparative safety.
But I thought we didn't want to get there first.
We no longer have any choice, Jerry. They will search every inch of the upper levels for us now.
But we can't get off this level without going past that guard.
Yes, we can, Jerry.
How?
This elevator shaft.
But that guard's using the elevator. And it sounded to me like he'd stopped on the second level. So he'll be coming back and using the elevator some more when he finds out we're not on that level.
But we will not be in the elevator, Jerry.
Maybe not by the time he wants it. But he'll see it's been moved, and then we're going sure.
We will use the elevator shaft, but not the elevator.
Huh? Did you ever try using an elevator without an elevator in it? Nothing doing.
You can climb, can you not, Jerry?
Oh, sure I can climb.
Then we will climb down the side of this elevator shaft. There is a narrow steel ladder inside the shaft for emergencies.
Yeah. And when we're about halfway down, that guard takes a notion to make a quick trip to the bottom, and when the car drops, it'll knock us off the ladder like mosquitoes.
But the car will stay just where it is, Jerry. I know how to fix that. And we must go down. We can no longer go up because that guard is sure we are on the higher level.
No, you're right about that. And we'd better do something quick. It's about 7 o'clock, and we've only got until 8 to fix things so the boat can get away.
Very well, then. I will open this door. Now, if you will feel around just inside the door, on the right, you will feel the little ladder set into the wall of the shaft.
Oh, just inside here, huh? Yeah? Yeah, here it is.
You start down it at once, Jerry. I will follow you. And go quietly and fast. Do not use your flashlight. Hurry, Jerry.
Okay, Joan. Wait a minute, Joan. What's going to stop that elevator from being run down on our heads?
I'm going to tear a piece out of my dress and put it in the contact stop. Then the electrical circuit will not close, and the car cannot be operated.
Okay, but hurry up.
Yes, Jerry. Now I think I have a piece large enough. Go on down the ladder, Jerry, so I may step on it and partially close the door after me.
Going down, Joan.
Keep going, Jerry. I'm closing the door softly. So, now I will come down after you.
How far are we from the bottom of this thing?
More than 50 feet.
50 feet from the bottom? On this little steel ladder? In the dark? Aren't you afraid, Joan?
No, Jerry. If you use the ladder carefully and think about nothing except going down,
It is no more dangerous at 50 feet than it would be at 5.
You may be right. Hey, we've passed the level already.
Yes, that was the 5th level where the laboratory is.
Joan, can you hear me?
Yes, Jerry.
Did you hear that? The elevator car is coming down on us.
But here's the 6th level. We will go in here and... Jerry! Oh, Jerry.
What's the matter?
I cannot open this door. We cannot get out of here, Jerry.
Sometimes it's fun to try to pitch yourself against a puzzle. Try considering tonight's story as a puzzle. It's a story about a monster. That's a familiar theme in science fiction and fantasy. But tonight's story deals with an impossible monster. See if you understand enough of the relationship of living things to figure out why this monster is impossible. When men go out into space, sooner or later in their explorations, they're going to meet somewhere on some world something that's mighty darn dangerous. And the real danger is that it might be brought home unknowingly. That's a kind of unpleasant thought at times, isn't it? I wonder how deadly, how disastrous a thing might be brought home.
It's past 10. Marge, when is this brother of yours getting here? Midnight?
Oh, Dave, don't start getting upset about it. Sounds a little late. Don't forget it's 5 years since he was last on Earth.
5 years or no 5 years. The ship landed 7:30. It doesn't take 3 hours to get here from the spaceport.
Well, maybe there's some routine he had to go through before he could leave the customs. I understand there's a comprehensive medical examination for all returning from outer space.
That's all we need. Some weird disease he picked up on Alpha Centauri 5.
Oh, no, they wouldn't let him near civilians if he had any such diseases.
Well, all I can say is that if he doesn't show his face here by 11, I'm going to go upstairs and go to bed. I need my sleep.
Oh, there he is now, Dave. Oh, I knew he'd be here on time. That'd be nice to him, Dave. He is my brother, after all, and I haven't seen him since 89.
Okay, I'll be polite. I'll go let him in. Hello there. Come on, right on in. My name is Dave Sporley.
Thanks. I appreciate this, Dave.
Oh, Ted. Oh, Ted.
Hello, sis. Well, stand back and let me look at you. This is a big girl now, isn't she?
Well, I'm almost 24. I married Dave 3 years ago.
Well, you haven't changed much in 5 years? Same red hair, that dimple, freckles on your nose?
Was there much red tape before you could leave customs?
Just a medical exam. They gave me a quick look to make sure I wasn't carrying the plague. I was cleared through around 8:15.
Well, you must have stopped off for a little nip before coming here then, huh?
No, I came straight here from the spaceport.
Oh, but it only takes half an hour by rocket tube.
No one said anything to me about a rocket tube. I took the subway.
The subway? Oh, really? Now the subway all the way out here? No wonder it took you so long.
Say, the rocket tube's only been in operation for 3.5 years.
Yeah.
That's why Ted didn't use it.
Yeah.
He didn't know it existed.
The world changes more than you think in 5 years. The new model autos that drive themselves, 3D video, the robots. Those things were all new when I last was on Earth. Now they're commonplace to everyone except me.
Come on into the living room. You'll probably want to rest up. I'll give you a drink, put a little music on.
And you can tell us all about your 5 years in space.
Ah, Bedenoff. You miss him out in space.
Hey, can I dial you a drink?
Scotch, thanks. I'll take a neat.
Same old Ted. Still likes the same music and still drinks the same kind of drink.
It's only been 5 years. I haven't been away forever.
Can you tell us where you've been? Or is that classified?
Well, some of it is. But I covered a lot of ground. You ought to see the night sky on Dennet 9, Marge. 500 little moons up there like whirling knives in the darkness. And the 17th planet of the Vega system, 2 billion miles from its sun, and yet there's that great blazing light in the sky, so bright that we had to wear special eye lenses.
Join the Space Force and see the galaxy. It's really true, then.
It was good of both of you to offer to put me up while I'm on ground leave. No treat to be in a world where you have no friends and only one living relative.
Oh, don't mention it, Ted. How long did you say that you were staying?
3 weeks. That's all right with you.
And then you go back to space for another 5 years?
That's right. Survey trip this time. Around the galactic rim.
How exciting that must be.
Just his job, after all, Marge.
Well, but how much more exciting it must be to be a spaceman than a newspaper man.
You a newspaper man, Dave?
I work for one of the system-wide news services.
That's a job that keeps humming all the time. We spacemen spend 3/4 of our time drifting through nowhere between planets, playing solitaire, watching old films, and thinking about Earth.
Yes, but when the waiting's over, when you finally reach another sun and walk on alien soil.
Yes, then it becomes worthwhile. Well, you must excuse me. I've had a busy day. Aboard ship and then getting out here.
Of course. If you'd like me to show you up to the room, why...
I appreciate that. Gee, this house is so full of new gadgets that I hardly know what anything does. This thing over here...
Watch out, don't! Doors!
Mine's all right, Marge.
Look, that was the water disposal unit. Anything you put in there gets converted into energy.
Oh, but look, I put my arm back in time, see?
Yeah, but we heard the sound. When you activate the unit, it crackles like that.
And I saw your hand in there after the wrist.
You're both imagining things. All I did was toss a piece of candy in to see what would happen. My hand didn't come anywhere near it.
But I saw your hand go in, Ted. And the disposal field crackled. And yet your hand's all right. I don't understand it.
I tell you, my hand didn't come anywhere near it, Marge. Dave, would you show me to my room? I'm pretty worn out.
But I saw his hand go in. I saw it.
Living organism, anywhere, is to be able to meet its environment, to survive, to handle the situations it encounters, handle them at least well enough to maintain its own existence as a species. It's not so obvious that you can overdo that, but you know you can. He's all moved in upstairs to the guest room. Seems pleased with the layout. Well, suppose we turn in now, huh? It's past 11, isn't it?
Dave, I'm worried.
About what? That business about the disposal unit? Oh, it must have been our imagination.
No, I saw him clearly put his hand into that field. But when he took it out again, his hand was whole. And there are other things.
Like what?
He's different somehow, Dave.
Different? Well, sure he's different. 5 years.
No, it's not just the 5 years. His voice isn't quite the same anymore. Something weird about the way he speaks now. And his eyes, they have a faraway look. Which was never like that before. Dave, he's changed. And I'm afraid of him now.
You're afraid of your own brother?
I'm afraid that he isn't my own brother anymore.
Oh,
Dave, I don't know what I'm saying, I guess, but... Well, I do feel strange about his being upstairs. As if something dangerous had entered our house.
What should I do about it? Go upstairs and ask him if he's a monster in disguise? Well, Marge, he's your brother, and you invited him here.
No, but I'm worried.
And what am I supposed to do about it? It really, believe me, it's all in your imagination.
Dave, didn't you see him stick his hand into that disposal?
No, I didn't.
But you said... Dave, you're just making that up. You saw it as clear as I did.
What do you want me to do? Do you want me to go upstairs and ask him to leave? He can spend his furlough in some hotel.
No, of course we can't do that.
Well, then leave me alone.
But would you do one thing for me?
What is it?
Go upstairs to his room. He probably isn't asleep yet, but maybe he's getting undressed. And try to get a look at him. My brother had a scar on his chest about 5 inches long, starting from his left collarbone and running down diagonally. He got it when we were kids. And see if the man upstairs has that scar, too.
No, look, Marge, you said that he liked the same drinks and the same music he always did. So why...
You go upstairs and look. You could tell him you just stopped in to see if he was comfortable.
This is ridiculous, Marge. Spying on your own brother to see if he's a thing from outer space.
I'll feel happier if you go up. Oh, won't you, Dave?
All right. If it'll stop you from worrying, I'll go see if he's awake. I saw your light
light was still on, Ted, so I figured I'd stop in. Why do you enter my room without knocking? Wait. Your face is... My face is different? What? You look like me now. My face, that is, not yours. I'm simply practicing. Practicing? Oh, don't go away. Come here, Dave. What are you? I'm your brother-in-law, Dave.
What's your face? And your hand?
Didn't Marge tell you that I had such abilities?
No, of course not.
I guess she didn't know. I couldn't do things like this before I visited Altair 6 2 years ago. Altair has a very interesting form of native life. At the moment, nobody knows of the existence of this life form but me. It's a mimic.
Mimic?
When a spaceman known as Ted Kennedy was exploring Altair 6 2 years ago, he wandered off alone to look for wildlife. There was a big brown stone in his way. He kicked it. But the stone clung to his boot. It wasn't a stone, you see. It was a mimic.
I don't know what you're talking about. Get out of my way and let me out of this room. You must be out of your mind.
Ted Kennedy never knew what happened to him. Within 10 seconds, the mimic had absorbed him, swallowed him up. Flesh, brain, memories and all. When the mimic had fed, it realized what a lucky find it had made. A spaceman would be going back to Earth someday. The mimic can divide itself infinitely. It left part of itself there in its old disguise of a stone. The rest of it went back to the spaceship disguised as Ted Kennedy.
Marge said you were different, that something had happened to you.
I have all of Ted Kennedy's memories. As far as anyone can tell, I am Ted Kennedy. Right down to the last molecule. And my crew members who were all absorbed by the mimic and who are on leave now.
Oh, a whole ship was spreading all over the Earth.
Exactly. Come here, Dave.
Not an army.
Don't try to resist. Just take seconds.
Boys! Boys!
Just a moment more. Then it'll be over.
Boys!
There. Finished. Wonder how they'd make out, they and their progeny. My, they sure could live high, couldn't they?
Dave, you were gone a long time. I was getting worried.
He wasn't undressed yet. I had to wait to see the scar.
Oh, he had it then, did he?
Of course. Big purple slash across his chest when he got cut. Time he tried to climb that picket fence.
You mean he told you how he got that scar then?
What? Oh, yeah. He told me all about it, how you and he were stealing apples years ago and how the farmer came to chase you. He jumped over the fence, but he cut himself going over, and you were stuck in the orchard because you couldn't get over the fence.
And he told you that?
Yes.
He never told anyone that story. He was so ashamed that he left his kid sister behind him and tried to get away. And he made me swear that I'd never tell anyone about it.
Well, he told me.
I guess 5 years does change a man. Oh. Well, it's almost midnight now. You'll be dead in the morning if you don't get some sleep, Dave. Come on, let's turn in.
For just a minute, Marge.
Dave, why are you looking at me that way?
Here.
I am here.
No, closer. Let me hold you in my arms.
Oh, why so lovey-dovey here in the living room, Dave? Dave, you look so strange.
Let me hold you.
Dave, your eyes, you look different. What's wrong with you? What happened to you upstairs? What's going on in this house?
Let me hold you, Marge.
Let go of me. You're holding me too tight, Dave.
Just a moment, Marge, and then you'll be one of us.
Dave, what are you doing to me? Dave, I don't understand. It's just hurting me.
Only a moment more before absorption, then you'll be part of it, like you and me and Ted, and soon the whole world.
Dave, no!
Marge. That's all there is to it, see? A few moments while our organism absorbs yours, and then a split, and a new wide spalling appears.
It's odd. I remember everything I did as Marge, clear and sharp. Only now I'm you too, Dave. And Ted. And all the members of Ted's ship crew.
And soon, everyone in the world, all merged into us.
I see it's all over. I waited until you had converted it.
Yeah, we better sleep now, build up our energy, and every time tomorrow we get someone alone...
We convert him into us.
Simple. Quick. All this food waiting for us on this planet. Billions of human beings. All ours. Answer it.
Why, it's Mr. Adams from next door.
Hello there, Mr. Spaulding. I know it's late at night, and I hope I'm not intruding, but I was just coming home from the movies, and as I passed by outside, it sort of seemed to me that I heard screams coming from in here.
Yes, that's right. It was my wife screaming.
Mrs. Spaulding? But you seem so calm. I mean, well, I guess everything's under control.
Yes, everything is under control.
Yes, well, if that's the case, I guess I'll be going on along home then. I'm sorry to have bothered you. I just thought maybe you might be needing some help.
We appreciate that very much, Mr. Adams. Won't you step in for a moment?
Well, it's quite late, and as you say, everything's under control.
All the same, if you'd come inside.
Yes, do come in. I'll fix you a little nightcap.
Well, just for a moment. I've always believed in being neighborly. I guess I'll come in if you're nice enough to ask me.
We're glad to have you, Mr. Adams. Hey, don't stand in the hall. Come in. Close the door.
Well, it's nice of you to ask me in, Mrs. Spaulding. Yes, sir. It's right nice of you to invite me in.
Tigers on that island with a million sheep. They'd starve to death, of course. They'd eat all the sheep. Then there'd be nothing to eat but tigers. They aren't good eating, I understand, even for a tiger. What do you think would happen to a monster on any planet, which is just an island in space, that became so successful that nothing could fight it? It'd starve to death, of course. That's an impossible kind of monster. There never could be such a monster as is discussed in this story.
Presenting the transcription feature, Superman! Look! It's a bird! It's a plane! It's Superman!
And now, Superman, strange visitor from the planet Krypton, who came to Earth with physical powers far beyond those of mortal men, and who fights a never-ending battle against crime and injustice, disguised as Clark Kent, mild-mannered reporter for a great metropolitan daily. As our story opens today, Kent and his editor, Perry White, are on their way to the Chinese section of the city in response to an urgent summons from Dr. Chi Wan, learned scholar and collector of Oriental art. Darkness has fallen, and the narrow, winding streets are empty, save for a few wraith-like figures half hidden in shadowed doorways. Here and there, a dim light burns in a store window piled high with bits of jade, lacquered boxes, and all manner of strange curios from a land beyond the seas. The unearthly silence is broken only by the purr of a motor car. Listen.
Isn't it a little strange that Dr. Wan didn't tell you why he wanted to see you, Mr. White?
Well, if you know Orientals, Kent, they don't say much over the telephone. It's an instrument of the devil, and they don't trust it.
Oh, but surely Dr. Wan doesn't feel that way. Wasn't he educated here in the United States?
Yes, but the Chinese have certain inborn superstitions that even education won't eradicate. Once an Oriental, always an Oriental. Hey, here, take it easy. I think that's the house over there. Number 44. Pull up to the curb.
Okay. Well?
Let's get out. You better lock the car.
Okay. There.
Now, come on. G1 owns this jewelry store and lives above it.
Yeah, but this store looks closed to me.
He said to come up to his apartment.
Oh.
I guess we'll go through this hallway.
Yeah. Well, it sure is dark in here.
Well, light a match, Kent, so we can find the stairway.
All right. Oh, there it is. I'll lead the way.
I don't know what's on Juan's mind, but it better be mighty important, or I'll wring his neck for dragging me down here at this hour of the night.
Uh-oh. The match went out. Hold on, I'll light another.
Kent, look out!
What happened?
Someone threw a knife at us. I saw him when you lit that match.
What?
Crouched down there in the hallway.
What, is he still there?
No, he ran outside. Well, in the maze of narrow streets out there, you'd never find him. Now, where's the knife?
Wait a minute. Here, stuck in one of the steps.
You're a lucky boy, Kent. Missed your back by a fraction of an inch.
Oh, I'll see.
Here, wrap a handkerchief around the handle and pull it out.
Okay.
Maybe G1 can explain this attempt at murder. Come on. Let's get up to his apartment before someone else decides to use us as a target. I should have known we'd run into something screwy down in this neck of the woods.
And you cannot know, my honored friend, how pained I would have been if harm had befallen you.
Not nearly as pained as Clark Kent would have been if that knife had landed in his back instead of the step. Lucky thing I happened to look around just as that yellow devil let it fly.
It was one of my countrymen?
Yeah, I think so. Now, look here, T1. What's this all about? People don't go around hurling knives at strangers without reason.
There is reason. Good and ample reason. May I speak freely?
Go right ahead. Kent's one of my ace reporters. I brought him along because he has a peculiar knack for ferreting things out.
Don't count too much on that, Dr. Juan.
Mr. Kent, in this hour of tribulation, I must count on everything. As you are no doubt aware, I am an importer of Chinese art treasures.
So Mr. White told me.
Through my hands have passed priceless vases of the Ming Dynasty, hand-wrought silver that once adorned the throne of the Emperor Lao Tang, chests of inlaid teak wood, the beauty of which is beyond description.
Yes, we know all that, T1. Now, come on, get to the point.
Patience, my honored friend, patience. My father once told me, it is only a fool who hurries to the grave.
Nobody's asking you to hurry to your grave.
Unfortunately, the grave is my destination.
What? What's that?
Yes. They are closing in on me like dark shadows of night. There is no escape.
What in the name of heaven are you talking about?
Before the next sun rises, I will be dead.
What do you mean, Dr. Juan?
Have you lost your mind? Well, in all my born days,
Please. There is a little time, and I have much to tell you. But first, you must give me your solemn oath that not one word of what I am about to tell you will ever pass your lips.
Well, it all depends, T1. If it's information the police should have, I'm not going to hold it back.
Believe me, honored friend, the police can be of no assistance, or I should have called on them long ago.
Well, all right, you can trust me with your secret.
And you, Mr. Kent?
Of course.
I am grateful to you both. Now, if you will bear with me, I shall try to tell you why I have asked your assistance. Forgive me if I speak softly. It is said that sometimes even the walls have ears. In 1930, while traveling through western China, I discovered in an ancient temple in the province of Shenxing a goatskin manuscript written by an unknown scholar 3,000 years ago.
It's a long way back, Dr. Juan.
The Chinese Empire is more than 4,000 years old, Mr. Kent.
Oh, what about the manuscript? What was on it?
The characters were faded almost beyond legibility. But by dint of patient effort and the use of a high-powered magnifying glass, I was able to decipher them.
Go on, what did it say?
You will not believe me, but there, written on a square of goatskin 3,000 years old, was the secret of everlasting life.
What's that?
The secret of everlasting life.
You mean, Dr. Juan, that the manuscript contained a formula for keeping human beings alive forever?
No, Mr. Kent.
I thought I heard wrong.
You did not, honored friend. The manuscript said that he who finds the 10 teeth of the sacred green dragon will have life everlasting.
No, wait a minute, G1. I'm a busy man. I run a newspaper, and the owners of that newspaper don't pay me to chase pink elephants or green dragons.
Please, I beg of you, do not treat this matter lightly.
Well, if you think either Kent or myself can waste time hunting for a green dragon, well...
I have already found the dragon.
Where, Dr. Juan?
In the ruins of the Shenxing temple. It was an idol, hand-carved, but the teeth were missing. Vandals had stolen them.
Who'd want a handful of teeth, even from a green dragon?
You do not understand. The 10 teeth of the sacred dragon are 10 pieces of pure jade, each one of which is engraved with a Chinese symbol.
Go on, Doctor.
Each symbol describes a rare herb found only in the lofty mountains of western China. When all 10 herbs are combined, ground into a powder, that powder renders the human body free of disease forever.
And you believe that, Chi-Wan?
I cannot help but believe it. For even now, I have in my possession 9 of the dragon's teeth.
Where did you find them?
All over the world, Mr. Kent. Some have been set in rings, others in necklaces.
You say you have 9. What about the 10th?
I failed to find it until a month or so ago when I learned it was in the possession of one Walter Huffman, a dealer in precious stones. I sent a trusted employee to purchase it from Huffman. But therein I made my mistake.
How come?
This employee, Hu Ling, had assisted me in deciphering the manuscript and knew the secret of the dragon's teeth.
And he told Huffman?
Exactly, Mr. Kent. In order that Huffman might demand an exorbitant price for the one piece he had.
Oh, I'm surprised Huffman didn't offer to buy the 9 pieces of jade you have after hearing the story.
He knew that was impossible. And so he has been trying to get them in another way. That is why my life is in danger. That is why I have asked you two to help me. They are watching this house night and day. If I attempted to leave, I would never reach the street alive. With you two, it is different.
Oh, yeah? Well, what about that knife Kent almost got in the back?
A mistake, I am certain. Huffman would not risk killing a white man. But, of course, if you are afraid...
We're not afraid, Dr. Wand. What do you want us to do?
I want you to take the box containing the 9 pieces of jade.
Yes?
If anything happens to me, deliver the box to Professor Henry Wells, head of the Oriental Department at the National Museum, and tell him what I have told you.
All right.
And another thing. You must promise me that if ever the dragon's teeth reveal the secret, that it will be given to the world without cost.
Kent, do you think it's safe for us to carry that stuff out of here? What if some of Huffman's hired killers pounce on us?
Well, we'll keep an eye out now that we know the setup.
You know, Chi-Wan, it'd be much simpler to just call the cops.
No, there would be questions to answer, stories in the newspapers. It is best that only a few be aware of the dragon's teeth, lest all of humanity be made to pay dearly for a secret that belongs not to one man, but to the world.
All right, we'll take a chance. Where's the box?
I shall get it. But first, you must join me at tea. Only this morning I received a special shipment of a delicate, aromatic blend. You will like it, I'm sure.
Well, what's that?
My servant with the tea. Excuse me. Now, if one of you will do me the honor of pouring, I will get the box of jade in the meantime.
Okay, I'll pour.
Thank you, Mr. White.
Well, Kent, what do you make of it?
I don't know, Mr. White. It's puzzling.
Certainly you don't believe that nonsense about the 10 herbs, grinding them into a powder and getting something that'll cure all disease.
Oh, Dr. Wand didn't say it would cure disease. He said it would keep humans from getting disease.
Whatever he said, it's voodoo stuff, and it doesn't make sense to me. We'll take the box of jade and deliver it to Professor Wells at the National Museum. But as far as believing they have any special value, those dragon's teeth, well, I don't go for that kind of witchcraft.
Well, that's what people said when the Chinese discovered gunpowder, Mr. White. They called it witchcraft.
I know, but... Say, don't tell me you've fallen for Chi-Wan's story. Here, have some tea.
Oh, thanks, I don't drink it. No, I haven't fallen for anything, but it might be possible. After all, doctors have discovered medicines that keep people from contracting various diseases.
We'll see. This tea is good. Leave it to the Chinese to dish up a good cup of tea. Try some, Kent.
Oh, thanks.
You don't know what you're missing. Nothing like a good cup of tea. Kent!
What's the matter, Mr. White?
My throat. It's tightening up.
Mr. White!
That tea! Poison!
Was the tea poisoned? And if so, by whose hand? Can it be that Dr. Chi-Wan is playing another part in this strange Oriental drama? Don't forget to tune in next time and follow the weird story of the dragon's teeth with Superman.
Tune in the next thrilling installment of the transcription feature, Superman.
Up in the sky, look!
It's a bird!
It's a plane! It's Superman! Superman is a copyrighted feature appearing in Action Comics magazine.
presenting the transcription feature, Superman.
Up in the sky! Look!
It's a bird!
It's a plane! It's Superman!
And now, Superman, strange visitor from the planet Krypton, who came to Earth with physical powers far beyond those of mortal men, and who fights a never-ending battle against crime and injustice, disguised as Clark Kent, mild-mannered reporter for a great metropolitan daily. When we last saw Kent, he and editor Perry White were in the Chinatown apartment of Dr. Chi Wan, Oriental scholar and art expert, where they learned of the existence of 10 pieces of clear jade known as the Dragon's Teeth. According to legend, each of the dragon's teeth was engraved with a different symbol, which, translated, revealed the secret of everlasting life. Dr. Wan had 9 of the jade pieces, but the 10th and last was owned by Walter Huffman, a dealer in jewels who knew its value and was endeavoring to lay his hands on the rest. Fearful lest Huffman's hired desperados kill him and steal the precious jade, Dr. Wan asked Perry White to take them for safekeeping. As our story continues today, Dr. Wan has left the room to get the velvet box containing the 9 dragon's teeth. Perry White is drinking a cup of Chinese tea, which has just been served. Listen.
Try some of this tea, Kent. It's delicious.
No, thanks. I never drink tea.
Oh, you don't know what you're missing. Nothing like a good cup of tea to... Yes.
What's the matter, Mr. White?
Yes, my throat. It's tightening up.
Mr. White.
That tea... It's poison.
Mr. White! He's collapsed. I'll stretch him out on the couch. There we are. Now to find Dr. Wan. Both doors locked. I'm beginning not to like the looks of this. Dr. Wan! Dr. Wan! Oh, that's it. All right, if that's the way the game has to be played.
Superman can play it. Oh, he's sinking fast. White as a ghost. Can barely feel his pulse. Can't waste any time looking for that Chinaman. Better get Perry White to a doctor, or it may be too late. I'll come back to settle with whoever poisoned that tea. There we are. Now up with the window. And out. Up and away!
Red cloak streaming in the night wind, Superman speeds through the darkness with Perry White limp and unconscious in his arms, racing against the grim specter of death. Meanwhile, back in the editorial rooms of the Daily Planet newspaper, Lois Lane, star girl reporter, questions young Jimmy Olsen, the Planet's copy boy, concerning Clark Kent's whereabouts. Listen.
You say you went out with Mr. White about an hour ago, Jimmy?
That's right, Miss Lane. They went to Chinatown.
Chinatown? What for?
Well, a story, I guess. I heard Mr. White say he didn't think there was much in it, but he wanted Mr. Kent to come along anyway. Hey, Miss Lane, did I ever tell you how they made me a member of the Comanche Indian tribe when I was out west?
Not once, Jimmy, but 10 times. Do you know where in Chinatown they went?
No, I don't know where they
Well,
went.
think hard. Did Mr. White say where he was going?
Not to me. He did mention some Chinese name, but I can't remember it. Miss Lane, did you ever hear this one? Confucius say, he who sits on a tack will rise to great heights. Pretty good, huh?
Jimmy, they don't come any worse. Now, please try to think of that name.
Gee, I can't. Wait a minute. G. That's it. Dr. G something.
Chi. Dr. Chi Wan.
Yeah, that's it. Say, how'd you know?
Well, Dr. Wan's a well-known Chinese art dealer. They didn't say why they were going, did they?
Not to me. Anyway, how come you're so interested in Clark Kent all of a sudden?
I'm not interested in Clark Kent. I'm interested in seeing that he doesn't get all the big stories the way he has been lately.
Oh, well, this one isn't a big one.
Well, it must be if Perry White went along. Jimmy, I've got a good mind to take a run down there.
Miss Lane, that's a good idea. I'm all through here, so I'll go with you.
No, you better not, Jimmy. Chinatown's a pretty wild place at night.
Oh, it couldn't be any wilder than the West, with Indians and coyotes and shooting.
All right, you win. Now get your hat and coat. I'll meet you downstairs, and don't waste any time about it.
And there I was, dancing on a drum with about 1,000 Indians circle around me. Me, Miss Lane, because I was their chief. Boy, oh boy, it was some fun.
Jimmy, unless you stop telling me about that trip out west over and over again, I'm going to have the driver pull this taxi up to the curb and throw you out.
Oh, gee, Miss Lane, isn't it interesting?
Yes, very interesting. The first time.
Oh, heck, there's so much to tell. Listen, sometime we've got time, I'll tell you all about how Tumbleweed taught me how to shoot a bow and arrow. You see, Tumbleweed was such a good shot himself, he figured with him teaching...
Jimmy!
Okay. Don't say another word. Hey, where are are we, anyway?
In Chinatown. Dr. Wan's place is on the next block.
I hope Clark Kent doesn't get mad because we followed him down here.
That's the least of my worries. Well, it looks as though we've arrived.
That'll be 85, lady.
Here you are. All right, Jimmy.
Want me to wait, lady?
No, thanks.
Okay. Well, now where to, Miss Lane?
That's Dr. Wan's art store, all right. It's closed.
Oh, everything seems to be closed around here.
Well, there's a man standing on the corner. Maybe he can tell us where Dr. Wan lives, huh? Pardon me, but would you know where Dr. Chi Wan lives? What?
Oh, you don't know how to ask him. Listen to this. Please, you telling me where find the place Chi Wan livey or something? Yeah? Yeah? Oh, okay, thanks. Thanks very much.
Well, what did he say, Jimmy?
Gee, I don't know. I couldn't understand him.
Well, let's take a look at the store. Tight shut.
Oh, there's a card stuck in the glass, Miss Lane.
What does it say?
Let's see. If store is closed, inquire upstairs.
Well, that means he lives above the store. Should have thought of that. Come on. This must be the entrance, through the hallway.
It's pitch dark. How do we find the stairs?
Stumble over them, I guess. I haven't any matches.
Oh, here they are, Miss Lane. Be careful. You go up first, and I'll follow you.
Okay. Are you sure Mr. White said he was coming to see Dr. Chi Wan, Jimmy? Jimmy?
Jimmy, where are you?
Right here. Why didn't you answer me? You had me scared to death.
I thought I heard someone moving around in the hallway. But I guess not.
Well, don't do that again, will you? When I talk to you, please answer. Jimmy would feel sorry I brought you along.
Gee, I didn't mean to scare you.
All right, come along.
Miss Lane, what is Jimmy? There is someone down the hallway. I'm sure of it.
How do you know?
I can hear someone moving. Shh. Hear those boards creak?
Oh, I don't hear anything.
Listen.
Yes, I heard that. Jimmy, what do we do?
Maybe it's just some tramp moving around. Miss Lane, let's get up to the landing.
Yeah, I wish it wasn't so dark.
He's coming up the stairs after us, whoever it is.
Where's the door? There must be a door to Dr. Wan's apartment.
Don't move. He's coming, all right.
Jimmy, where are you?
Right here. Stand back against the wall, Miss Lane. Here he comes.
What happened, Jimmy?
I kicked him in the shins. Quick, find the door and bang on it.
Yes. Yes, here it is. Dr. Wan! Dr. Wan!
We don't have to worry about that guy, Miss Lane. I gave him a kick he won't forget for a long time.
Who is there?
Miss Lane of the Daily Planet. Please open the door quick.
Come in.
Close the door quickly and lock it, will you? Oh, thank goodness.
May I ask what is wrong?
Someone followed us up the steps. If it hadn't been for Jimmy here, I don't know what had happened.
Why did you come here, Miss Lane?
We're looking for Clark Kent and Mr. White, the editor of our paper. Haven't they been here? They said they were coming, Dr. Wan.
Please, to sit down, both of you. Possibly you can explain something to me.
But listen, hasn't Mr. White been here?
Yes. Both Mr. White and Mr. Kent were seated in this room not 5 minutes ago. They vanished into thin air.
What do you mean?
Exactly that. Mr. White was seated in the very chair you are in now. Mr. Kent was opposite him on the couch.
Yes.
Tea was being served, as you can readily see. I excused myself for a moment to get something. While I was out of the room, I heard my name called. I rushed back, but they were gone. Both of them.
That's strange.
Huh? Stranger than you think, Miss Lane, since both doors leading from this room were locked.
Oh, what about the windows?
That one was open. It looks out on the rear yard. But they couldn't possibly have gone out the window. There is a drop of 30 feet to a stone walk.
Well, what were they doing here in the first place?
That, unfortunately, is something I cannot explain.
It seems there are a lot of unexplained things happening around here, Dr. Wan. Jimmy, I think we'd better go. You'll please lead us safely to a taxicab, Dr. Wan.
I am sorry, Miss Lane, but I cannot leave this house.
What?
I should advise that you and the boy remain here At least until daylight.
Well, that's ridiculous.
Merely a precaution.
A precaution against what?
Forces over which I have no control.
Is there a phone in the house?
No. The telephone is in my store.
That means we can't even call the police. Well, I've never heard of anything so ridiculous in my...
Please do bear with me, Miss Lane. At some later date, you will have a complete explanation. Now, let me apologize for being a miserable host. Will you and the young man have a cup of tea?
I think so. How about it, Jimmy?
Oh, sure.
You see, the tea is still quite hot. Evidence that Mr. White and Mr. Kent left here only a short while ago. Sugar, Miss Lane?
2, please.
3 for me.
Here you are.
Thank you.
Young man?
Thanks.
Oh, this tea certainly is pungent.
Yes. It is a special blend of leaves. I feel quite certain you will enjoy it thoroughly.
Can anything save Lois and Jimmy from drinking the poison tea? Is Dr. Juan aware that death lurks in both their cups? Don't forget to tune in next time and follow the thrilling story of the Dragon's Teeth with Superman.
Tune in the next thrilling installment of the transcription feature, Superman.
Up in the sky, look!
It's a bird!
It's a plane! It's Superman! Superman is a copyrighted feature appearing in Action Comics magazine.
Kellogg's Pep, the build-up wheat cereal, invites you to rocket into the future with Tom Corbett, Space Cadet. Stand by to raise ship. Blast off. -5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. As roaring rockets blast off to distant planets and far-flung stars, we take you to the age of the conquest of space with Tom Corbett, Space Cadet. It's a quiet day at Space Academy. And in their dormitory room, Cadets Tom Corbett and Roger Manning are taking some time off for a bit of intensive study. Suddenly, the silence is broken by a message on the intercom.
Attention, please. Attention, please. Cadets Corbett and Manning report to briefing room number 3 on the double. Cadets Corbett and Manning on the double to briefing room 3.
Number 3, that'll be the next door, Roger.
Wait a minute, Tom. Let me cross my fingers.
For what?
Luck. I only hope it's Captain Strong and not Commander Arkwright in there.
What's the difference? If you're in a jam, you're in a jam.
Not quite. The captain just sort of trims my chest, but the commander, he blasts them.
Fingers all crossed?
And toes. Let's go. No commander. Thank Jupiter.
How do you do, gentlemen?
How do you do, sir?
Cadets Corbett and Manning.
That's right, sir.
Permit me to introduce myself, Colonel Roscoe Wilberforce.
Colonel?
The rank is an honorary one. Here, these orders from Commander Arkwright will better explain my presence.
Oh, thank you, sir.
Wilberforce. That's a familiar name, sir.
It should be, my boy. To make it known, I've spent enough credits to have it emblazoned across the sky in letters of fire. I, Cadet, am the proprietor and sole owner of Wilberforce's worldwide circus, the greatest show on earth.
Of course. I remember seeing it when I was a kid.
Well, Grandpa, you're going to see a lot more of it.
You've read the orders?
Yes, sir.
What cooks, Tom?
We're being placed on detached service and charged with transporting the Colonel's circus to the planet Venus.
A circus?
Not a, my boy. The circus.
Through space, I may be blast happy, but I don't get it.
A cultural mission of the greatest magnitude, Cadet Manning. An interplanetary circus. Yes, for the first time, the greatest show on Earth shall become the greatest show in the universe.
We're transporting a three-ring circus through space.
Only one, my boy. This is in the nature of an experiment.
The orders say that you have a space freighter for transportation.
That's right, Cadet Corbett. The Leo. Most suitably named for the first lion I ever owned. A splendid beast.
Which brings up another point. Are there going to be animals in this space circus, Colonel?
But of course, lad. What circus would be a circus without animals? We'll be transporting my star act, Princess Marja, and her 20 ferocious felines.
20?
You think that's too many?
I think one is too many.
Roger. We can't actually say, Colonel, until we see the ship and its loading and storage facilities.
Excellent. I have a jet car outside to take us to the spaceport.
Are your animal men handy so that we can discuss the problem with them?
Princess Marja herself is there with my chief animal handler, Vance Tremor.
Princess? Well, what are we waiting for? Let's go.
That's it, Princess.
Are all the cats fed, Vance?
Tearing the meat apart and purring like kittens. When's the colonel going to show up with those space jockeys?
Well, he left the academy a few minutes ago. Ought to be here shortly.
Think I got time to get a bite before they show up?
Sure, go ahead, Vance. Just tell me where you'll be in case we need you, huh?
Down at the spaceport cafeteria. I'll see you in about 20 minutes.
Hello, Vance.
Hi, Mr. Dimitro.
You're late. What kept you?
Feeding the cats. Here, let me punch up my food order. This apple pie, cup of coffee. That's all. As soon as I get my food, we can talk. Okay. Now, what's on your mind, Mr. Dimitro?
Can't you guess?
I ain't bad. Well, now, my guess would be you won't offer me a job with your circus.
Let's suppose you're right. I got a good outfit. Not as big as Wilberforce's, but it can be.
Not if he pulls off this interplanetary tour. With all the publicity and advertising he'll get, your show won't draw a fly.
I know that. But suppose he can't pull it off. The publicity will backfire. What's more, he'll lose a fortune in credits.
Which could put him out of business and leave you without competition. Well, what's your offer?
Offer?
Don't be coy, Mr. Dimitro. You want me to sabotage, ruin the Wilberforce show. So what'll you pay?
Blunt, aren't you?
I get to the point, that's all.
Good. Shall we say 50,000 credits?
I never did like round numbers. I prefer percentages.
Meaning?
I do the job, and we're partners. I get a 50% interest in your show.
Half the show? That's ridiculous.
Half of something is better than all of nothing.
Outrageous. I certainly...
And nothing's what you'll have if this interplanetary stunt works. We got a deal?
Look here,
Is it a deal?
I can't give... All right. It's a deal.
Good. And we're partners.
What do you plan to do?
I don't know yet. But you can bet your last credit on this, partner. Wilberforce's circus is never going to give a performance on Venus. Or, for that matter, anywhere else.
We'll return to the exciting adventures of Tom Corbett, Space Cadet, in just a moment, so stand by.
Say, spaceman, have you sent for your space goggles yet? Well, if you haven't, listen carefully. The time to get this special Space Cadet equipment is now. Ask Mom to get a package of Kellogg's Pep. You'll enjoy that hearty whole wheat flavor. And Kellogg's Pep helps you take advantage of this exciting Space Cadet offer. These official space goggles are the same kind worn by Tom Corbett, Astro, and Roger Manning out in space. In fact, every cadet is issued space goggles by Space Academy Supply Headquarters. Now, here's where you come in. Supply Headquarters now has space goggles ready for all spacemen. They're ready to send them out to you right now. Oh, when you see these goggles, spacemen, they're made of one sweeping curved piece of clear, colored plastic, like a giant bubble covering both eyes. These goggles are designed for high-speed action, while you want to use them every time you're out on skates, on a bike, or riding in a car. Now, here's how to get your own official space goggles. Send 25 cents, one Kellogg's Pep box top, and your name and address. Now, make sure you write that down, Spaceman. 25 cents, 1 Kellogg's Pep Box Top, and your name and address. Now, send them to Kellogg's, Box 346, Battle Creek, Michigan. Repeat, Kellogg's, Box 346, Battle Creek, Michigan. Be ready to blast off like a real space cadet. Send for your official space goggles today.
Tom Corbett and Roger Manning are on detached service from Space Academy under orders to help transport an Earth circus to the planet Venus. Now, with circus owner Roscoe Wilberforce, they arrive at the spaceport, where the circus is ready to be loaded aboard the space freighter Leo.
Oh, I have been waiting for you, Colonel.
Meet Cadets Corbett and Manning. And this, gentleman, is Marja, mistress of 20 ferocious felines.
Keep the dealing, Colonel. My friends call me Maggie O'Neill.
Swell. I definitely plan on being friends.
How nice.
Marja, the boys are going to supervise the loading of our space freighter. They want to see what plans you've made for transporting the cats.
All right, Colonel, I'll show them the setup.
I'm going to check up on some financial details. If you need me, I'll be in the box office car.
I'm sure Miss O'Neill can take care of us, Colonel.
I know she can.
Yes, of course. I'll see you later.
All right, gentlemen, if you'll follow me.
It'll be a pleasure.
Simmer down, space boy. This is business.
Tell me, gorgeous, how did a dreamy space doll like you ever become an animal trainer?
At a very early age, I got my start taming wolves. Like you.
Oh.
Satisfied, Roger?
I feel a drop in the temperature. Suddenly become as cold as the rings of Saturn.
Well, let's go into the menagerie tent. My big cats can always make it hot for you.
Come on, Roger, let's go.
And here's the last of my beauties. Cecil, meet some space jockeys.
He doesn't sound like a Cecil.
Hey, don't put your hand in there.
He likes to have his ears rubbed. Got a bit of wolf in him.
Wolf?
Yes. Go ahead, Mr. Manning. Rub his ears.
Thanks, but I've still got a lot of use for this arm.
So I gathered. Too bad. You know the old saying, love me, love my cat.
I think you've met your match, Roger. Well, Miss O'Neill, where are the shipping cages?
Why, the ones they're in. We've always used them on the tour.
Well, this is a little more than a tour, especially for 20 animals.
But why can't you...
You see, miss, when a rocket ship blasts off, everything has to be fastened down tight, including the crew.
I don't get it. What's the problem?
On blast-off, if those animals aren't secure, they'll be thrown to the floor of their cages with enormous force, enough to kill them, perhaps.
Sure, you're just going to have to tie your pets down, sweetheart.
Very funny, Mr. Manning. Very funny.
No, Miss O'Neill, Roger means it. Tell me, when the cats get sick, how does the veterinarian treat them?
If he's smart, he shoots them.
Those animals are worth 5,000 credits apiece. You don't shoot 5,000 credits. You use the vet's cage over there.
This one with the straps?
Uh-huh.
Oh, how does it work?
Well, the sick animal's prodded into the cage. Mm-hmm. We snag his feet, throw him down, and then pass those leather straps over the animal.
Which straps him down so he can't move at all.
Right. That way, a vet can even pull an animal's tooth. Nice.
Some fun.
There's our answer. Equip 20 cages with straps, tie the animals down for blast-off, and release them afterwards.
Oh, we could do that.
Wait, look, honey, as far as I'm concerned...
As far as you're concerned, Roger, you'd better start developing an affection for cats.
Huh?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right. Pretty kitty. Nice kitty. You're crazy, Cadet.
All right, Vance. When I open the cage, you start prodding Cleopatra into the other cage.
Cleopatra yet?
Tom and Roger, as soon as her paws get in those loops, pull her up against the bars of the cage. Then Vance and I'll anchor her to the floor.
Okay, we're ready.
Well, here goes. Poke her, Vance.
Go on, Cleo, move.
She doesn't want to.
Wait. Here she comes. Watch it. She's almost in the loop.
We're watching.
That's it. Yank! Pull her, boys. Come on, Vance.
Pull harder, Roger, pull.
She's doing some pulling herself.
Keep it tight.
Like the June information history. Hold that tiger.
Roger, don't make jokes. Keep the rope taut.
He's getting one paw loose.
Watch out, Cadet. Watch out!
Oh! She got me. Rip my arm.
Keep the rope taut, Roger, whatever you do.
I got it. But my arm feels like it's on fire.
I can see. Cleo sliced right through your uniform jacket. You're bleeding.
Tell me something I don't know.
Hold tight, boys, while I get this strap through it.
Watch out for that free paw.
I will. Here, take it, Vance.
I got it.
2 more seconds, boys.
All right.
There. That's it. You can release the rope. She's secure now.
And unhappy. Look at those eyes glaze at us. I never saw anything worse, even on the dark side of Mercury.
I think it's going to work, Vance.
Yeah, if my arms hold out.
Now, let me look at that scratch, Rog.
Yeah, I don't
Cleo's
think
claws didn't do much more than scratch the skin, fortunately. But we better get you over to the spaceport infirmary right away.
I'm all right. I can take it, Junior.
Let's not run the risk of infection. We'll get the arm fixed, and then, well, there's only 19 more cats to go.
Only? By Jupiter, Tom, I want to get in outer space, where the only thing we'll have to worry about is bumping into a nice, gentle asteroid. Everything okay on the good ship Leo, Rog? Yeah, Junior. We blasted clear without any trouble, which is a surprise to me, I must admit.
How's the arm?
Okay, just stings a little once in a while.
Oh, good. Then we're on our way and in pretty good shape.
Yeah, considering the mission we're on, yeah.
Personally, Roger, I think it could be fun.
Sure, 1,000,000 laughs. Corbett and Manning, the cosmic clowns. I'll bet we wind up doing an act with this outfit. We'll be the rage of Venus.
You've got enough ham in you to do it.
I'm ignoring you. And speaking of Venus reminds me, I better go down and check the animals again.
Especially the one called Princess Marcia.
Could be, Junior, could be.
How often do you want her to trim your jets, Roger?
That, Thomas, was on Earth. Manning never functions properly as an Earthling. Space is my element. But you'll have to excuse me now. I must instruct the princess in the mysteries of space travel.
Go ahead, Roger. But one thing.
Yeah?
When she takes your head off and hands it to you, bring it back here. I've always wanted a solid ivory bowling ball.
And this, Margie, is the control deck.
Oh, fascinating, Roger.
Hey, who? Oh, Roger. The princess wanted to see the control deck.
Oh, sure.
Roger's been showing me over the ship.
And note the head, Tom, still on the shoulders.
Huh?
Just a private joke, Miss O'Neill.
No. I prefer Marcia or Maggie.
Right, Marcia. Oh, by the way, has Roger told you yet that taking you to Venus is like...
Junior. Marcia, they call Venus the beauty of the planets. Well, taking you to Venus is like carrying...
uranium to Pluto.
Roger, I think I detect that odor of wolf again.
Oh, Margie, you got me all wrong. I'm just...
You're going to wish you were, Roger.
Huh?
Both of you turn very quietly. Look at the hatchway. We've got company.
What are you...
Cats! How'd they get loose?
A tiger and 2 lions. Tom!
Don't move. I'll handle this.
Thanks, Margie, but I've got more faith in the parallel ray. Tom, use yours.
I haven't got one. Remember, this is a commercial flight.
Well, there must be one on board.
Sure, in the weapons locker right outside.
Maybe I can slip past you. Oh, I guess I can't. Tom, those cats, they're getting ready to spring.
We'll return to the exciting adventures of Tom Corbett in just a moment, so stand by. Special report from Space Academy Supply Headquarters, Earth, to all space stations. Subject, official space goggles. Supply Headquarters reports all groups working full strength, day and night shifts, issuing official space goggles to all spacemen. Delivery to space stations on outer planets will follow shortly. Interview with Commander Arkwright specifically requests your fullest cooperation.
Spaceman, this is Commander Arkwright. As you heard in that report, we're going full speed ahead to make sure we have your space goggles ready for you. Now, here's what to expect. Space goggles are not like any other goggles you've ever seen. They're a one-piece plastic bubble that fits over both eyes at the same time. A sweeping plastic plate that protects your eyes from wind, dust, and dirt. It's a valuable piece of equipment for every spaceman to have. That's why I want you all to send for your space goggles as soon as possible. Now I'm going to play a special telerecorder message with complete instructions on how to get your official space goggles.
Listen carefully and write down the necessary details.
To get official space goggles, send 25 cents, 1 Kellogg's Pep box top, your name and address. Repeat, 25 cents, 1 Kellogg's Pep box top, your name and address. Send to this address, Kellogg's, Box 346, Battle Creek, Michigan. Repeat, Kellogg's, Box 346, Battle Creek, Michigan.
There are your orders, spaceman. Send for your space goggles right away.
Earth's largest circus, the Wilberforce Mighty Show, is making the first interplanetary trip ever attempted by a big top organization. And Space Cadets Tom, Corbett, and Roger Manning have been placed in charge of the expedition. Part of their cargo is a wild animal act. Now, 3 of the big cats have somehow escaped from their cages and confront the cadets and Princess Marja on the space freighter's control deck. They stand there, weaponless, the path to the arms locker blocked by a tiger and 2 large lions.
Tom, the cats will be on us in a moment.
Easy. I can control them. Quiet, babies. Quiet. Give me that stool.
Okay, here. We've got to get to the arms locker. Marcia can't lead those cats around like tabbies. So you go, Tom. And kiss Cleopatra for me on the way. Nice, pussy, nice.
All right, baby. Easy.
Roger. Those magnetic sole shoes. Get them.
What?
Make like Cinderella. Put them on Marja's feet.
Well, what are you going to do?
Deactivate the gravity stabilizer. Throw the ship into free fall.
What'll happen? All right, Cleopatra. Rex, do not get excited.
We'll be wearing magnetized shoes, so we'll stay on the metal floor. But without gravity, the animals will float in the air. Then I can get through, grab a parallel ray gun, and retake them.
Lift your foot, Princess. I'll put the shoe on.
Now, careful, Roger. Don't let them think you're hurting me.
I wouldn't want them to think that for the universe. Now the other foot.
Easy, babies. Easy. Down, Georgina.
Okay, Roger.
Yeah, throw the ship in a free fall.
Easy, baby. Easy. What a sight. They are floating.
Come on, Roger. Let's get those parallel rays.
It is all right, babies. It will be over soon.
Give me one of those. Here. I'll freeze Cleo.
My pets. Statues. Drifting statues.
And she's sorry for them yet.
Oh, get them down, please. Which motor did you turn on?
Don't touch anything, Marja. Turn that gravity stabilizer on and they'll crash down and break some bones.
Give me a hand. We'll pull them down on deck.
Okay.
Wait till I tell my grandchildren how Roger Manning twisted a tiger by the tail.
Don't you hurt her, Roger.
Oh, she can't feel anything, Marja.
But she can see and hear you. The ray doesn't affect that.
Hey, that's right. I better make friends. Nice pussy. Nice pussy. See, I rubbed her ears.
Stand by. I'm going to turn the stabilizer on. Now, let's get these animals back in their cages.
Check, Tom. I like tiger rugs, but not with the tiger in them. All back in their cages now, Tom, so we can release them from the parallel ray and have a nice, peaceful trip the rest of the way.
I wouldn't count on that, Roger.
Why not?
Look at the lock on this cage.
Broken.
And not by the blast-off thrust. It's been deliberately smashed. My guess is that somebody on this ship doesn't want us or the circus to reach Venus.
But who?
That, Roger, is what's going to keep us busy for the rest of this trip. Because there's one thing we can be sure of. Whoever did this is going to try again.
Don't miss the next action-packed adventure with Tom Corbett, Space Cadet, on Thursday, when Tom and Roger discover the traitor in their midst and pursue him through space. A race against death in Part 2 of The Greatest Show in the Universe. Tune in, same time, same station for the next thrilling interplanetary adventure with Tom Corbett, Space Cadet.
brought to you by Kellogg's Pep, the build-up wheat cereal.
Tom Corbett, Space Cadet, starring Frankie Thomas, can also be seen on television and appears in the comic sections of many of America's leading newspapers. Look for it daily and in weekend editions. Featured in the cast are Jan Merlin, John Griggs, Leon Janney, and Connie Lemke. Today's program was written by Palmer Thompson, directed by Drex Hines. Jackson Begg speaking.
Kellogg's Raisin Bran, raisins and bran flakes too. They're out of this world, they're out of one package. Kellogg's Raisin Bran. Kellogg's raisins are honeycomb coated to keep them tender, the bran flakes crisper. Kellogg's Raisin Bran, raisins and bran flakes too. They're out of this world, they're out of one package. Kellogg's Raisin Bran. Eat Kellogg's Raisin Bran. Eat Kellogg's Raisin Bran. Eat Kellogg's.
You, finding life pretty dull, dreaming again of exotic places, wishing you were somewhere else? We offer you escape.
Escape, designed to free you from the four walls of today for a half hour of high adventure.
Green Splotches.
There is no longer any doubt in my mind. Though he walked like a man and talked like a man, Mr. 3 was not a man, but a plant. And his country, which he called one, is not to be found upon the earth. It is the only possible conclusion to make after what happened to us in the valley of the Infernal River. The three of us constituted the long geographical expedition to explore and map the wild, uncharted region of the Andes between Peru and Chile. There was our leader, Professor Anton Demetrius, once of the University of Bucharest, and now one of America's most distinguished adopted scientists.
In the valley of the Rio Infanillo, we should find some very significant geological evidence which may well change our present conception of the age of our planet.
There was young Leroy Haskell, the secretary of the expedition. Phi Beta Kappa, Ph.D., and as far as I was concerned, a scientific camp follower. He had written a book.
The material I shall gather on this junket will make a book that should simply dwarf the success of my Reindeer and Iceland. And you know how well received this was.
Then, of course, there was me, John Preston. My job was to survey the region and map it for the first time. There were two native guides, Jose and Pablo. We had been warned from the first. Everyone told us to stay away from the valley of the Infernal River, from which they all said no traveler has ever returned. But we were not to be dissuaded from our purpose. So after a week on the high mountain trails, we came at last to the entrance of the valley. A chasm that could hold 10 Grand Canyons. A vast and forbidding valley. Black, dark brown, and deep gray. A horrible scar. The flesh of the earth burned to a crisp. And far, far below, the twisting gray shimmer of the Rio Infernillo.
This is the place, senor. The Valley del Rio Infernillo. Do we start back now? We'll spend the next 60 days in this valley.
was no trail. The mules and pack yamas picked their way between boulders ranging in size from a man's head to his house. Jose led the party, rifle at ready, alert for the slightest danger. The way was steep, pitching us forward against the pommels of our saddles, jostling and jouncing us. It would not be exact to say that I was frightened by this forbidding valley of desolation, but I was depressed by it as I rode along. I was lost in speculation about the warnings we had received when a rifle shot rang out.
Did you see him?
What?
A man or something behind that rock.
Jose had slipped from his saddle, his rifle barrel still smoking.
Jose, come back here.
But he had disappeared among the boulders, swiftly stalking an unseen prey.
What was it, Pablo? Did you see it?
See,
it was a man. Look, there they go. Down there between the rocks.
Come on. We slipped from our mules and started down toward the spot where we had seen Jose running after a fleeting, yellowish figure.
It is Jose. Hurry.
But when we got there, all we found was Jose's gun. That was all, except a splotch of green liquid on the stone, and smaller splotches of green splashed on one boulder after another, leading off toward the river. We followed the trail of green splotches, but they dwindled out a quarter of a mile away. We searched for Jose all afternoon, but finally gave up. Toward sundown, pitched our camp near the rocks with the green splotches. While Pablo prepared the evening meal, Professor Demetrius finished a chemical analysis of the green stain.
Well, gentlemen, this material is chlorophyll.
Chlorophyll?
Pure chlorophyll. The substance that makes all plants green.
Where would chlorophyll come from in this godforsaken place where there aren't even any plants?
That is a mystery we must set out to solve.
Oh, look. Look, the moon's rising.
Apropos of nothing.
I like to watch the moon rise. I find it a source of inspiration.
Source of inspiration. Sometimes that knuckle-headed secretary was more than I could bear. In the midst of the riddle of the chlorophyll, he seeks the inspiration of the rising moon. Nevertheless, a moment later, the professor and I also stepped out of the tent into the crisp evening air. Far down at the eastern end of the valley, the disk of the rising moon glimmered between two towering peaks.
It looks whiter and more silvery in this latitude.
She wears a cloud of mist like the veils of brass.
Does she now?
Look here, Preston. Just because you lack the gift of imagery is no reason, but... My God. Look! The moon, the new moon, setting in the west.
He was right. Low in the luminescent western sky was the thin, delicate crescent of the new moon. And to the east, the full moon, which we'd been watching, had disappeared. A phosphorescent mist still hung about the peaks. And as we watched, it slowly faded away and left the valley of the infernal river in deepest blackness. It was more than my mind could cope with. But it didn't bother our bright young man. Next evening, Leroy had a curious report for us.
Well, I sold a copy of my book today, Reindeer Knifing.
What?
Yes. I got this for it.
Gold. Nuggets of gold.
Yes, that's right.
Who did you sell it to?
Yes, what sucker gave you all that gold?
An Indian.
An Indian? What happened?
Well, I was down the valley way today gathering specimens of flora, and I just sat down to eat my lunch when I saw this Indian behind the rock staring at me. Then he saw the corner of the book sticking out my knapsack. He pointed at it, and he said, "What is that, reindeer in Iceland?" Well, I was surprised. And then he said just what I had been thinking. That book has a wider reputation than you imagine. I thought it'd be quite a gag to sell one of my books to a Peruvian Indian, so I went into a long spiel about what a really fine and useful book it is.
That shouldn't have been difficult for you.
It wasn't. I ended by telling him that he could have this valuable and excellent example of American literature for only $3.50. "What is $3.50?" he said. "Have I got $3.50? I was just wondering about that," I said. "Turn your pockets inside out and receipt." He did, and a lot of pieces of metal spilled on the ground. I took the gold nuggets and told him I'd include the other 4 copies I brought along. He's dropping back more for them.
That's nice.
Well, I think I've turned in. It's been quite a day.
Yes, hasn't it?
If I brought more copies of my book, I could clean up down here.
Next morning, I was awakened by the sound of groaning coming from Haskell's cot. What I saw there awakened me with a start and yanked me to my feet. Professor Demetrius. Professor.
John, what's the matter?
Come here quickly, please. Something's wrong with Leroy.
What is it?
Look.
Is that Leroy?
Yes.
Why, his hair is turned white.
Overnight.
Well, what in the world happened to him?
I don't know. Here, Leroy. Come on, old boy, wake up. Come on, Leroy, wake up. Come on, old fellow, wake up. Come on.
What's the matter?
Now, how do you feel?
You hurt anywhere?
My head aches and my leg burns.
Where?
Right here.
Let me see.
Here on my side.
Oh, that's a pretty nasty inflammation.
More like a third-degree burn. Right under your trousers pocket. Leroy.
Yes?
Did you carry that gold in this pocket yesterday?
Why, yes.
And where was it last night?
I put it under my pillow for safekeeping.
Yes, and that accounts for it. That gold is poisoned in some way.
Poison?
Oh, no.
What's the matter?
Here in the mirror. Is that me? Preston, did that step turn my hair white? Just tell me. Tell me.
Yes, my boy, it did.
Oh, no. Preston, look. Look, there he is.
I looked up. Standing in the entrance of the tent was an Indian with an enormous head and thickly painted face. He was wearing the usual white shirt and trousers of the cholo, and he was smiling a faint, ironic smile which made me dislike him intensely. The professor was first to recover from the shock of his appearance.
Did you give our young man here some gold yesterday?
I gave the young man some gold for some...
Did you know the gold was poisoned?
Poison? How?
Well, that's what we want you to tell us.
I haven't any idea. What effect did it have?
You can see for yourself.
Is this the same young man?
Yes, you nearly killed him.
Oh, how interesting. It must be the effect of the metal I carried with the gold. I do not know what you call it in your language. Possibly you may never have heard of it. Here is some.
Well, that's radium. Pure metallic radium. Yes, John. More radium than is known to exist in the entire civilized world. And carried around casually in the pocket of an Indian.
But I was burned by the gold.
That's right, but the gold had become irradiated by this piece of radium, which I might add is worth several $1 million.
You made a bad deal, Leroy. You should have taken the radium and left the gold alone.
I wish I'd given the book away.
Can't you gentlemen ever communicate with each other without using words and sentences?
What?
Huh? Suppose, Mr. Preston, you desire to communicate with Mr. Demetrius. Would you
How do you know my name? Have we met somewhere before?
I'm sure we have not. But when I paused, you thought your name. So naturally I knew it at once. I believe that's the ancient word for it. Mr. Preston, I perceive that you want to know my name. Well, I have a number. In my country, the citizens are numbered. I'm sure when your own countries become densely populated, you too will adopt a numerical nomenclature.
What is your number?
1752-12,657,109-654.
That's not become a little hard to remember. Where do you come from, Mr.
The name of my country is One, or Turk. I dare say each of you comes from a country which you call One. No, I see I am wrong. America? Romania? Very pretty name, but quite unscientific.
Can you read our thoughts before we speak?
Certainly. I take the language formed right out of your own minds and use them. If the teacher has no language at all, one can see that he is out of the aluminum age, and that arose from the prehistoric steel age. A very heavy, clumsy metal, I have heard archaeologists say.
Oh, breakfast, Pablo. Good. Set it up on the table there.
Senor Preston, he is the one.
What's that? That man there, he murdered Jose. What? Everything he has on is Jose. He wears Jose's clothes and his shoes. On his finger is Jose's silver ring. I know it. I saw him that day when Jose disappeared.
Are you sure, Pablo?
Sí, ciertamente.
Pablo is quite right, gentlemen.
You admit that you killed Jose? Oh, yes. You realize, Mr. Three, that your confession will place you in jeopardy of the law.
Oh, then you do have laws in your country.
Why, naturally. Pablo, take that rope there and tie Mr. Three to that chair.
Si, senor.
You may consider yourself under arrest, sir. Give Pablo a hand, Leroy. Time to kill him.
It will be a pleasure.
We will have to carry him before a magistrate. That is most inconvenient.
Professor Demetrius, you have studied physiology?
Yes.
And perhaps vivisection?
Yes.
Then why all this fuss about the killing of a lower animal for scientific ends?
A lower animal? Mr. Three, we are all human beings. Granted, Jose did not have the intelligence or culture such as we have. Nevertheless, he was a human being.
Senor Frank, the pack animals, look, they've broken out of the corral.
I rushed from the tent, followed by Leroy and the professor. The mules and the llamas had indeed broken through the corral fence and were stampeding down the valley as if pursued by the devil himself. Pablo tried to head them off, desperately shouting and waving his arms, but his efforts seemed silly in the face of their headlong flight. And then my attention was diverted in another direction.
Preston, look, our tent's on fire.
It was. A sheet of flame licked up the oil canvas and enveloped the ridge.
Our prisoner. We're burned to death in there.
I'll get him. I ran back to the tent, pulled up the stakes to the rear wall, and shoved into the smoke-filled tent. Mr. Three was still sitting in the chair where we tied him. He slumped queerly, and the brim of his hat had dropped down to his shirt. There was no time to untie him. I picked him up, chair and all, and rushed down to the tent just as the walls collapsed. It occurred to me that he was remarkably light.
John, is he all right?
Suffocated, I said.
His clothes are burning. Help me beat out the flames. Hey, what's this?
He's collapsed.
The clothes are empty.
No, not quite. The professor tore open Jose's clothes and pulled from within a human skin.
What in the world? This is the skin of Jose.
How do you know?
See, there on his arm. The tattoo of the cross.
Yes, I remember Jose had such a tattoo.
What does it mean?
It means that somebody or something has been stalking us, disguised in this...
But I don't...
Exactly as a hunter stalks a deer in a deer robe.
Then it wasn't a human being? It was the devil. They wonder.
He knows he's a human being, but he doubts that we are. Did you notice how supercilious he was? He probably thinks of us as the missing link between the apes and himself. We are animals to him. He puts on one of our skins to hunt us down. As we stood in the merciless sunshine in that black valley of hell, we were four frightened men, powerless to combat the kind of magic or witchcraft or super science which opposed us. And then I noticed a strange thing. A rabbit broke from behind a boulder and dashed between our feet, scampering down the valley toward the river. I looked up and saw Vicuna leaping from boulder to boulder, and there, slipping between the rocks, was a panther. Suddenly, the whole valley seemed alive with flying animals, all rushing headlong toward the river. Rats, athars, civets, and finally a huge yucamare, the great black bear of the Andes, lumbered by so close to us we had to jump out of his way. But he paid us no heed. He was too intent on following the others toward the river.
Now, what in the world?
Look, up the valley, hopping from rock to rock. What are they?
They look like yellow fleas from here.
Whatever they are, they must be what stampeded our pack animals.
It is the devil driving all the animals into hell.
Look again, Pablo. They're getting bigger. They look like men to me. Yellow men, with the agility of mountain goats. As the strange hopping swift figures approached, we could see that they carried some kind of short metal rod that flashed in the sun. The closer they came, the more animals rushed by us. Devil or no devil, it was too much for Pablo. As the beautiful speckled deer came into view, Pablo raised his rifle.
Don't shoot. There must be no holes in the skin.
We swirled around. Behind us on a large boulder stood Mr. Three. He was naked, having shed Jose's skin. His face still carried the red paint of his Indian masquerade, but the rest of his body was a soft yellow, like a ripe peach. His feet were disagreeably small, which accounted for the ease with which he escaped our rope. In his hand, he carried a small metal rod.
I must apologize for setting fire to your tent, gentlemen. It was quite accidental. I did it with this focusing rod as I slipped out of your rope.
Focusing rod?
Yes.
What does it focus?
Radio power.
Why, that is the most compact transmitter I've ever seen.
It's really quite primitive. I imagine it came into use among thinking creatures along with fire, the keystone of the arts, and the remote-controlled rocket. They were all important additions to human knowledge, but their discoverers and the dates of their discovery are lost in prehistoric eras. You men will follow the rest of the quarry to the river. Everyone must go. What did you say? Follow the rest of the animals to the river. Be quick about it.
Now look here, Three. We'll do as we please.
Why should we go?
So our commander can select specimens to carry to the land of one.
Oh, I see. He wishes our scientific advice on the selection of animals.
Your advice? You bunch of idiots. He's going to select one of you as a specimen to carry to one. Now get along. I don't want to have to use force.
You won't get us any other way. Take cover, men. The four of us threw ourselves behind the boulders. Mr. Three didn't move. He still stood on top of his rock a dozen feet away. I raised my rifle, got his huge, ugly head in my sight, and squeezed the trigger. But the gun never fired, and suddenly my arms and legs were contorted in painful spasms. My body stiffened, and it seemed as though my brain were on fire. When I opened my eyes, I was flat on the ground, and so were my companions.
I think that you are convinced now of the futility of opposition. So shall we stroll together in the direction of the river?
You realize that you're creating an international incident. The United States of America does not stand for such treatment of its citizens. You'd better think twice. This thing can get out of hand. It may even become a matter for the consideration of the United Nations, and it can certainly lead to war.
Indeed. That should be interesting. Professor, do you creatures really represent a scientific body?
Why, of course we do. The DeLong Institution.
How quaint.
And I'd like to have some things explained.
I'd be very happy to oblige if I can. Oh, yes, I perceive your questions. We are here to extract radium from the pitch blende in this valley. We do this with a portable furnace. The strange light you saw in the evenings occurred when we moved our furnace from place to place. We always do that at night. To do so during the day is inconvenient because the sun's rays are apt to create a local ether storm.
Yes, I can see that it might.
Hey, look.
What?
Look ahead there. A flying saucer to end all flying saucers.
As we rounded a huge boulder, there stood an enormous cylinder of metal. It towered at least 750 feet into the air and rested on a stern which could not have been more than 4 feet in diameter. Its huge bulk shored up by metal rods several hundred feet long, which protruded from the ship where the barrel began to taper toward the stern. 500 feet up the side of the cylinder were controlling planes, which looked tiny in comparison to the great bulk, and indicated that it must travel through space at inconceivable speed. Around the base of the ship, squads of yellow men were rounding up the animals in cages and stowing them aboard. They worked with military precision, obviously under orders, although no sound was uttered since all communication was mental. As we approached the ship, 4 yellow men appeared with a large cage. And from a porthole about 75 feet above the stern, another yellow man with a scintillating star on his forehead stared down at us. Mr. Three drew himself up stiffly and saluted. What followed was a one-sided conversation put into words by Mr. Three, apparently for our benefit.
Yes, sir. No, sir. Ordinary ruby-blooded mammals, sir, with intelligence somewhat higher than monkeys, sir. They communicate with simple thoughts exactly as monkeys do, sir, by chattering. They are absolutely insensible to all mental vibrations, sir, more completely than the four-legged animals. I would suggest you take all four. They will prove very amusing, sir, in the National Zoo. Their attempts to deceive each other and even me, sir, are quite ridiculous. I believe you will find them much more humorous than chimpanzees. Sorry you haven't to stay. In that case, I suggest we take the brown one. He is the best physical specimen and obviously better adapted to his habitat. None of them have any minds to speak of. Very well, sir.
As the yellow men closed in on him, Pablo whipped out his knife, slashing and stabbing at his assailant. And every time his knife found a mark, green liquid spurted from the yellow body. They finally disarmed him, and in answer to the thoughts that one of them, Mr. Three, said,
I can't use my focusing rod. It might destroy what little mind he has.
A moment later, they were carrying Pablo by arms and legs toward the cage. He turned his pathetic, bloody face toward me.
Senor Francis, for the love of Holy Mary, save me! Save me!
And something snapped in my brain. I started toward Pablo's captors. Mr. Three leveled his focusing rod, and my brain seemed on fire, and everything went black. When I came to, the yellow men had vanished. The spaceship stood poised in the light of the setting sun. Their ports and hatches closed. The professor and Leroy were leaning over me.
John, are you all right, John?
I guess so.
That jolt he gave you must have been a nasty.
Rather like the electric scare I had. With the turn of the spaceship, a luminous gas seemed to boil out in whirls of furious fright. The restraining rods were cast off, and the huge cylinder shot straight up into the air with a precision.
Blue, green, yellow, orange, red.
You mean exactly, John? It was going so fast?
The light of the exhaust ran through the entire color spectrum. It was traveling at least at the speed of light, 186,000 miles per second. Look that phosphorescent glow. It's all over the hills.
Yes. And it's all over us.
Yes.
I believe we are covered with the residual emanations of radium. I suggest we go down to the river and wash it off. Otherwise, it will presently kill us. Professor?
Yes?
Did you notice the green liquid spurting from those creatures when Pablo knifed them? Like green blood? It was not blood. It was chlorophyll.
But how could...
You see, gentlemen, Mr. Three and his comrades were not animals. They were plants. What? That's impossible. But true. Well, Leroy, you should be able to write quite an interesting book about this expedition. One that might even outsell Reindeer in Iceland.
Yes, Professor. But who would believe it?
Escape is produced and directed by William N. Robeson. Tonight we have presented Green Splotches, written in 1920 by T.S. Scribbling and modernized and adapted for radio by Mr. Robeson. Featured in the cast were Bill Conrad as Preston and Paul Frees as Professor Demetrius. Also heard were Ted DeCorsia, Harry Bartell, Barton Yarborough, and Jay Novello. Special music was arranged and conducted by Del Castillo. Next week...
You're trapped on a lost plateau in the shadowy depths of the Grand Canyon. At your feet lies a fortune in ancient gold, and beside you, holding a gun at your head, is a half-crazed Indian from whom there is no escape.
Next week, we escape with the story of a man who faced the murderous fanaticism of an ancient tribe to recover a fabulous treasure in golden relics, as Paul Pierce tells it in Grand Canyon Suite. Goodbye, then, until the same time next week, when once again we offer you Escape. Maybe you think there's no such thing as flying saucers, but Charlie McCarthy claims to have captured a flying saucer pilot, and he gets Van Heflin into the plot this Sunday night. You'll find it as merry a spin as Charlie and Edgar Bergen have taken you on. And there's plenty of fun earlier when Al Jolson trades gags with Jack Benny.
Nestle's Ever-Ready, the instant cocoa. Nestle's Quick for great chocolate milk. And Nestle's chocolate bars now present Space Patrol! High adventure in the wild, vast reaches of space. Missions of daring in the name of interplanetary justice. Travel into the future with Buzz Corey, Commander-in-Chief of the Space Patrol! In today's transcribed Space Patrol adventure, Buzz and Happy have become infected with a dangerous, weakening sickness and are frantically searching a laboratory on Venus, hoping to find the one medicine that will cure them.
If we don't get some of that solution soon, we'll be of no use to ourselves or anybody. Believe me, sir. Right now, I'm just going on my own momentum. Up there on the top shelf, I found it. Yeah. That's it. That's the remedy. Be careful lifting it down. It's probably all there is in the whole place. We'll only get it to the ship before Drokov finds us. Commander, it's Drokov. And he's got a blast gun. Commander, the blast smashed the bottle. The medicine's gone.
We'll return in just a moment with today's exciting Space Patrol adventure, The Fugitive from Tolarma.
Hi, Space Patrollers. Commander Corey here. How'd you like to have a soda fountain in your home? You can, you know. I'm not kidding. If you have a big brown yellow can of Nestle's Quick on the shelf, your kitchen is a real soda fountain. Because Nestle's Quick makes the smoothest, richest chocolate milk you've ever tasted. That's the kind of drink you could never make at home before. And now, well, you can have it any time you like. Quick fixes so fast it practically makes itself. Now listen to this. You just pour yourself a glass of milk. That comes first. Then you add 2 teaspoons of Nestle's Quick. Quick starts right in the mix itself. All you have to do is spoon it around once or twice. And there you are. A big, frosty, cool glass of chocolate milk that tastes just like those delicious Nestle's chocolate bars. You can't beat that anywhere. Quick gives you something more. It helps build strong bones and sound teeth because it's fortified with vitamin D. Now, believe me, fellows and girls, you're going to love having Quick around for easy fixing, for solid nourishment, and for delicious soda fountain treats. Mom will see that when you have Nestle's Quick, you drink your milk up better than ever. So today, ask her to bring home the big brown and yellow can of Nestle's Quick. That's Q-U-I-K, Quick. And it's delicious.
And now, today's Space Patrol adventure, The Fugitive from Tolarma. Drokov, a criminal from another solar system, is using a strange and powerful weapon to gain control of the United Planets. By releasing millions of microscopic spores from a poisonous plant into a city's atmosphere, he can reduce the entire population to spiritless automatons, lacking both the energy and desire to cure the condition that afflicts them. Commander Corey has been able to save Saturn City from the epidemic thanks to the aid of Gelwin, a galactic crime investigator from the Tolarma star system. Right now, in Space Patrol headquarters at Saturn City, Buzz and Happy face the task of capturing Drokov before he can strike again.
Here, Hap. This is the latest report from the medical section. Pick it with the others. Yes, sir. All the documents we wanted to take with us are right here on the desk.
Quite a stack.
Yeah, now that the panic's over, what good are they?
You'll know what to expect if Drokov spreads his poisonous plant, his weed of despair in some other city.
I hope we nab him before he has a chance.
What we saw here in Saturn City could happen to a whole planet. Millions of people with nothing wrong with them physically, but with a weariness of spirit, a complete loss of vitality.
That wouldn't take much to conquer such a planet.
Well, there's one consolation. It doesn't take very much of the remedy to cure the sickness.
Don't forget, every drop of the solution we had was used up here in Satin City. Brokoff controls the rest.
Well, how about Dr. Arnold's experiments? Didn't he tell us that he was sure he could duplicate the chemical structure of the remedy?
It's a matter of whether Dr. Arnold can stay on his feet till the job's finished. With Carol to help him, he may succeed. We can't count on Dr. Arnold performing a chemical miracle. We've got to find Brokoff.
It's going to be tough. We don't even know what he looks like.
We've got a good ally in Gelman. He knows Brokoff's methods. He's just as anxious to capture Brokoff as we are.
Get it, will you? Yes, sir. Cadet Happy here. Yes, Sergeant. Oh, just a moment, please. Commander, it's communications.
Probably Carol. I'll take it. Go ahead.
Hello, Buzz. How are things in Saturn City?
Well, fine, Carol. Transportation is 90% normal. Communication's a little better than that.
Wonderful. Any new cases?
None reported. Everything's pretty well under control.
Any word about Droke?
No. Gelman hasn't reported in since 700 hours. I let him take a Space Patrol cruiser to check the lead out toward Jupiter. How are you and Dr. Arnold coming along?
Well, I'm fine. Dr. Arnold's in the Carroll Hospital. He collapsed his chest a while ago.
Is it serious?
He's supposed to have complete rest and quiet for 24 hours. He's trying to decipher his notes, but believe me, it's some job.
Are you close to anything definite, or is it too early to tell?
I don't want to be too optimistic, Buzz, but it looks good. Awfully good. Doctor's last experiment cracked the key to the protein chain.
That's great.
Only get his notes in shape. Our lab chemist may be able to make the remedy synthetic.
Fine. But don't work too hard. Remember what happened to Dr. Arnold.
So much depends on his buzz, I couldn't slow down if I wanted to.
All right, Carol. Happy and I are blasting off for Terra right away. We'll see you in a few hours.
I'll be at Dr. Arnold's lab, Buzz. And with good news, I hope.
Good luck. Hurry out.
She really sounds like she was on the right track, doesn't she?
Yes, sir. If she is, we'll be prepared for Brokoff's next epidemic of despair. Let's get to the spaceport.
Upon landing at Terra, Buzz and Happy go at once to Dr. Arnold's laboratory. There they find Carol slumped in a chair, exhausted. Scattered about the floor are crumpled slips of paper filled with chemical formulae.
Well, hi, Carol. Nobody answered our knock, so we barged right in. Hey, Carol.
Carol. Carol.
Hello, Buzz.
How did you make out?
Make out?
With experiments for the remedy.
Oh, that. Hey, it's no use. It's all so futile.
You sounded so confident in the spaceableness and so on.
Oh, you're just tired. Here, I'll pick up the notes, and later when you're rested...
Throw them in the rubbish disintegrator. That's what I was going to do, and I felt up to it.
Oh, look at it. Raise your head.
Yes, sir.
Look, notice. Her eyes. They've got dark circles around them. They look sort of glassy.
I thought about this ordinary fatigue, but something else.
Come on. She looks just like those people on Saturn.
Carol, who else has been in this lab besides you and Dr. Arnold?
No one.
Now, think carefully. Has anyone been in here? Anyone at all? Those flowers over there on the table, how did they get here?
The messenger brought them.
Where are they from?
I forget. The card's in the basket.
Get it, Happy.
Oh, yes, sir.
Carol hasn't been off Terra. I think she caught the sickness here. It hasn't affected Dr. Arnold. His case is entirely different. What's on that card?
It's printed, sir. It says, to Miss Carol Carlisle with the compliments of the management of Sun Gardens, Venus.
Carol, what is this Sun Gardens, do you know?
It's a new park or something. Flowers are a promotion stunt, I suppose.
That means hundreds of baskets may have been sent out. Pat, let's look at those flowers.
There must be a dozen different kinds, eh? And what I know about flowers, you can engrave on a tulip seed.
Tulips grow from bulbs.
Proves my point.
This proves mine. Look at this thing hidden among the flowers.
A weed with a purple pod. Throw calls for it.
We've got to seal up this lab and get Carol to the hospital. And we've got to find out who else received flowers from Brokoff.
Near the banks of the turquoise river on the planet Venus is a group of buildings once used as field offices by the Venus Fruit Company. Now the small settlement serves as a base of operations for Brokoff, a criminal sought by the interplanetary police of 2 solar systems. At this moment, Brokoff stands before a small plastic dome as his accomplice, Larch Feister, emerges, cautiously shuts the door tightly, and removes a heavy mask and gloves.
I'd rather do anything in the universe than go into that dome with a wasp. Anything. Well, then you shouldn't object to your next assignment.
What is it, Brokoff?
The Secretary General's daughter, Carol, is quite sick. And it appears that I am the only one who can cure her.
Well, when your plan works, you got the flowers.
Yes, most unfortunate. She was working on a process to cure the very sickness that attacked her.
Well, you told me the only cure comes from those insects in there, those wasps.
That's right, Foster. The insects feed on that plant, and their bodies develop an antitoxin. But forget the wasps. I want you to take the spaceship and contact Commander Corey.
Contact Corey?
Yes, by spaceophone. You will present my terms for curing the daughter of the Secretary General.
Now, Brokaw, listen. If you get into trouble, you can get away to another solar system. But I'm a citizen of the United Planets. I can't afford
You should have thought of that before. It's too late to back out now. Now, here are your instructions.
Elsewhere in Commander Corey's central office on Terra, Buzz inserts a spool of microtape in the playback machine.
Listen to this, Happy. Communications picked up this message in the quarter. Yes, sir.
Attention, all Space Patrol communication centers. This is a message to Commander Corey. Relay it to him immediately. I'm speaking for Drokov, the only person in the entire universe who can restore the health of Carol Carlisle. Don't waste time trying to locate the source of this signal. Just listen.
From the spaceship, isn't it?
Carol Carlisle will be completely cured if you cooperate. Bring Carol and the sum of 50,000 credits to the point in space which I will give you in a moment. Upon payment of this money, Carol will be given enough of the remedy to effect the cure. Do not attempt to capture Drokov's ship either before or after our rendezvous in space. Here are your instructions. Your ship with Carol and the 50,000 credits must be at the intersection of the Mars orbit and space meridian 84.06 at 1300 hours.
That's it, Hap. As you can see, Brokov's being very keen. If we could only grab Brokov's version, we don't have any lead on him. Our agents have checked the employees of Sun Gardens and Venus. They're all clear. Brokov or one of his men managed to put that poisonous plant in the basket intended as a plant. How about the other basket? They've been examined. Carol was the only one who received the weed of the storm. Well, how about Joan? Maybe he's located Brokov. No word from Joan. It's all up to us. What are we going to do? The one thing we can do to save Carol. Put her and the money aboard Terra 5 and head for the Mars orbit.
At 1300 hours, the Terra 5 approaches the rendezvous point. As a private cruiser draws close, Buzz and Happy wait anxiously for a spaceophone signal. But Carol, whose life depends on the success of this mission, sits bored and silent in the control compartment, showing no interest in proceeding.
That must be Brokov's ship. Why don't we cut on the spaceophone? Brokov might interpret it as a signal for other space patrols. Because of Carol, we'll have to play it Brokov's way.
Drokov calling Commander Corey aboard the Terra 5.
Here we go. Corey here. Go ahead, Brokaw.
So far, Corey, you seem to have obeyed my instructions. There are no ships visible in our view scope.
They've been ordered to remain outside a 10,000 DU perimeter of this point until Carol is safely back on Terra.
Very good. Now, when we join airlock with your ship, you will send Carol through the airlock with the 50,000 credits.
Just a matter of giving her a few ounces of the solution. Why don't you come aboard our ship?
Because I don't trust you. Send Carol into my cruiser alone.
How do I know I can trust you?
You have no other choice if you want to save Carol.
All right, join airlocks. I'll send her aboard. Corey out. Carol. Carol, are you listening?
Yes, Buzz.
Are you willing to walk alone to the airlock in the other ship?
Oh, Buzz, I'm so tired.
Carol, listen. If you do this one little thing for me, you can have a nice long nap. No one will bother you. How about it?
All right.
We're in contact, sir. Come on, Carol. It won't take long. On your feet. I'll help you to the airlock. Steady now. Gee, man, I'm getting worried. Carol's been in Brokov's ship for nearly an hour. We're in no position to pressure him. I've got to find out what the trouble is. Corey, calling Brokaw. Brokaw, what's wrong over there?
Nothing, Commander. Everything just fine.
Well, what's the delay? Shouldn't take you an hour to count 50,000 credits.
Oh, the money is quite satisfactory, Corey. I've merely been waiting for Carol to get up enough energy to return to your ship. She was in quite a weakened condition, you know.
Then let one of us come and get her. I guarantee I won't try anything.
Carol is on her feet now and on her way through the airlock.
All right, Brokaw, forget this. We're not cutting our holding field until we're satisfied we gave her the remedy for the sickness.
You'll see the improvement immediately, Corey. Brokaw out.
Maybe you're telling the truth, sir. That's possible. All Carol can do to get into Brokaw's ship. The remedy takes some time to have an effect. She's at the inner hatch, sir. All right, half open. Hi, Carol. Drockoff.
I decided to bring Miss Carol back personally. And don't move. I got a gun in her back.
What's the idea, Drockoff?
I changed my plans, Corey.
Carol, you all right? Did he give you that medicine?
Yes, I drank something, but I don't understand all this. I'm afraid I said something I shouldn't.
He told me about some experiments of hers.
Buzz, I didn't realize what I was doing.
I can't let that knowledge out of my control. I'm taking the three of you with me.
But you promised.
And just to make sure there'll be no trouble... And now, Carol, if you want to keep your friends alive, you'll do as I say.
We'll return to Space Patrol in just a moment.
Do, re, mi.
Well, Lisa, are you getting ready for a concert?
Yes, I am, Captain Two-Felt. I'm going to sing our gang's favorite song.
I'd sure like to hear that. Would you give me a little preview?
Sure. Nestles, Nestle's make the very best chocolate. How do you like it?
Oh, I love it, Isa. Matter of fact, when you sing about Nestle's new coconut bar, I think it's everybody's favorite.
I'm crazy about coconuts. Gee, what a wonderful chocolate bar. So thick and sweet and smooth and rich. And all that crispy coconut inside. Golly, I just can't get enough of it.
Yes, Nestle's new coconut bar makes me feel that way, too. Can't get enough of that wonderful chocolate flavor and that fresh toasted coconut. You know, it's so crisp and so much fun to eat, I think we ought to have some right now. That is, of course, if you can eat before your concert.
Gee, I can eat a Nestle's coconut bar anytime. Smoking rockets, this is the greatest. Honestly, gang, you ought to try the sensational new Nestle's coconut bar in the red and cream-colored wrapper. Just one taste of this terrific new flavor combination, and you'll love it just as I do.
Matter of fact, Space Patrollers, you'll go for all of Nestle's rich, smooth, luscious chocolate bars. You can take your pick of rich milk chocolate, almond chocolate, crunchy crunch, or the brand new Nestle's coconut.
Whatever your favorite is, remember, Nestles, Nestle's make the very best chocolate.
And now, back to our Space Patrol adventure, The Fugitive from Tolarma. The Secretary General's daughter, Carol, was suffering from a rapid loss of vitality caused by a plant known as the Weed of Despair. Rokoff, who controls the entire supply of the only remedy, offered to cure Carol for 50,000 credits. After treating Carol, he entered the Terra 5 using the girl as a shield and rendered Buzz and Happy unconscious with a ray gun. Right now, the Space Patrollers and Carol are prisoners aboard Rokoff's private cruiser.
You're a dirty double-crosser, Rokoff. If I could get my hands free...
Stop wasting my time with your empty threats. Remember, I could easily have thrown you out into space.
We know why you didn't. It'd be hard to explain our disappearance to the Space Patrol when you're caught.
There is another reason, Corey. If I had destroyed you, Carol would refuse to give me the information I want.
What information?
On how antitoxin for the Weed of Despair can be produced synthetically. She and Dr. Arnold seem to have blundered onto the answer.
If I told you anything, it was because I was weak and didn't realize what I was doing. I won't tell you any more.
Oh, yes, you will. Unless you want to see your friends suffer.
Rokoff, did you ever consider what would happen if the sickness got out of control and you couldn't stop it?
No, that has happened in another solar system.
Tolarma. That's why Galvin's after you.
I will take care of Galvin just as I'm taking care of you.
What do you do with our ship? Blow it up?
No, Corey. My assistant Pfister is going to hide it on one of Jupiter's moons. It will serve as a spare star drive ship in case we suddenly have to leave your solar system.
Who's Pfister? Is he from Tolarma, too?
Oh, no. He's one of your own citizens. He'll join me on Venus in another ship after he hides the Terra 5. And now, if you will excuse me, I'll get to the controls. We are approaching Venus.
Landing near the abandoned buildings near the Turquoise River, Rokoff forces his passengers from the ship at gunpoint. He locks Carol in one building, then takes Buzz and Happy to a structure adjoining a small, transparent dome that shields the wasps and the poisonous plants.
Right in here, gentlemen.
What are you going to do with Carol?
It depends on how well she cooperates. There is a small laboratory here. Possibly she and I can manufacture a cure for the sickness.
How will you know if you've succeeded?
It's very simple. We will test it on you.
On us? We haven't got the sickness.
No, not yet. But you soon will. Do you see that air duct up near the ceiling?
What about it?
Well, it leads to that small plastic dome next to this building. When I turn a valve, air from that dome will enter this room. Air containing millions of spores from those purple reeds. And when I return, you will have lost your will to resist. You will be quiet, docile, and weak.
You're going to use us as guinea pigs, is that it?
Exactly. And if you're hoping I'll be affected too, I am very sorry to disappoint you. The remedy has made me immune to the spores. I'll see you later, gentlemen.
Well, now what can I do? We stand a fat chance of breaking that door down. And the window's too small to crawl through.
Maybe there's something in here we could use to plug up that air duct.
There's nothing in the room. No rags, paper, or anything. Oh, yeah, got it. Our jackets. If we could remove the screen from the vent and stuff our jackets in there.
Good idea.
Prokof's opened the valve. Air's feeding through from the dome.
Happen. I'll boost you up on my shoulders. You stuff your jacket into the vent. Let the sleeve hang down so we can grab it in a hurry.
Yes, sir.
When we hear Drokoff at the door, get your jacket on quickly. We put him to be weak and groggy, like Carol was.
Great.
Okay, let's work fast. Up you go. Right. How's that, Happy?
Oh, fine, sir. I can reach the vent okay. Now to take my jacket off. From the look of that screen, it won't be any trouble. I'll just tie it off and... Uh-oh.
What's the matter?
The vent pipe is full of wasps. They must have been sucked into the dome by the rush of air. When I take the screen off, they'll come swarming into the room.
Maybe we won't be stung. Move very slowly. Most people are stung by bees and wasps because they get excited and flash their arms around. Just take it easy.
Don't worry, Commander. I will. I wonder when Drokov's coming back.
I hope it's soon. I'm afraid some of that contaminated air is getting in here in spite of the jacket. How do you feel, Happy?
To tell you the truth, sir. Sort of tired.
Remember, when Drokoff does come in, he comes real weak.
If he doesn't come in pretty soon, he won't be pretending. Anyway, we didn't get stung by the wasps. You were right about moving slowly, sir. There are several in here in the room, and they haven't even come near us.
Somebody's outside. We can't pull the jacket out of the vent.
Yes, sir. I hope it doesn't stir up the wasps.
I hope it does. Don't bother putting it on. I'm tired.
Well, gentlemen, how do you feel? Aren't you going to answer me? Well, it doesn't matter. Come on. Come on, I said.
What for?
Yes, Drokoff. We aren't causing any trouble.
No, not you, but Carol is. She won't cooperate. But if she could see me work you over some, she might change her attitude. Let's go.
Oh, why don't you bring Carol here?
I said move.
Do I have to?
A very definite symptom. No sensitivity to pain. Well, maybe you will feel...
What? How did they get in there?
They were all right till you stirred them up. Come on, Happy, let's get out of here.
Yes, sir.
Those wasps will keep Drokoff busy for a while. We'll get Carol.
I slugged him, but it didn't even phase him.
I know. The poison plan is taking effect. We're both weak. No match for Drokoff.
Here's where he locked Carol up.
It's locked.
I wonder if he's got enough strength to break it down.
Let's hit it together with all we've got. 1, 2, 3. It's giving way. Once more.
Why, Happy?
Come on, Carol. Drokoff will be after us pretty quick.
Yeah, we couldn't disarm him.
Oh, if only we can get to his ship and blast off.
First, we got to get some of that remedy for the sickness. Where's the lab, you know?
I think it's that building over there, Bobby.
Come on.
Do we have to get the remedy now? I feel fine.
It's not for you, Carol. It's for us.
Into the lab, quick, before Drokoff sees us.
Well, we made it.
Start searching. Remember what to look for on the label, don't you?
Yes, sir.
Why, you mean that you and Hap have been infected?
That's right, Tom. Trying to fight it, but if we don't get some of that solution soon, it'll be of no use to ourselves or anybody.
Believe me, right now, I'm just going on my own momentum.
Keep searching, Hank. We have to drop out of the fight. That just leaves Delvin to get Drokoff.
Maybe Delvin's out already. We haven't heard from him in 2 days.
Hap. And then the top shelf, that bottom.
Where? Yeah. Yes, sir, that's it. That's the remedy.
Be careful lifting it down. It's probably all there is in the whole place.
If we can only get it to Drokov's ship before he...
Buzz, look out!
It's Drokov, and he's got a blast gun.
Stay right where you are, all of you.
Commander, the blast smashed the bottle. The medicine's gone.
That's right, Cadet. There's no more anywhere on Venus. Now, each minute, you'll get more and more tired. More full of despair.
Buzz.
Now, Carol, you'll have to help me. If you fail, you'll see your friends lose their vitality, their will to live. Eventually, they will be too tired to breathe, their hearts too weary.
Oh, stop it, Father. I'll help you, but just save them.
Yeah. But first, I'll lug them up where there'll be no more trouble, where there'll be no insects to help them.
I see the wasps got in a few good jabs, Brokaw. Your face and neck are all swollen.
You'll pay for those things, don't worry.
I suppose they're pretty painful.
Yes. If it's any satisfaction to you. But it's nothing serious.
That's good. And you won't mind another sting or two.
Now, what are you talking about?
I think there's a wasp on your collar. Yeah, he's crawling up towards your neck.
Where?
Yeah, he's a big
Where?
one, too. Hey, look out, he's buzzing around. I'll get him. You know, Commander, if there had been a wasp on Brokaw, you sure would have spotted it. Pick up the gun, Hap. We'll take Brokaw to his ship.
All right, on your feet. You pricked me, Corey. But it won't do you any good. You're sick, and you'll get sicker, and nothing can save you.
We'll give you a brainograph test, and we'll know where you've hidden the remedy.
Why, there's a ship coming in. It's going to land.
That's right, Corey. And you plus that Pfister ship. My partner, you can't get away.
Stay here in the lab till Pfister gets out of the ship, then we'll grab him.
You won't get him, Commander. He'll be on guard.
Why should he be?
Because I warned him. After you two broke away from me, I went straight to the spaceophone and put on the automatic warning signal.
What are you trying to give us?
Just wait and see. Pfister knows something is wrong here, so he won't take any chances.
I'm afraid he's right, Buzz. Pfister could barricade himself in the ship and hold us off till the sickness took effect.
Yes, you're licked, Corey. You might as well face it.
Buzz, the hatch is opening in that ship that just landed.
Perhaps see if you can tell what Pfister's going to do, but don't let him see you.
Yes, sir. Pfister's smart. He wouldn't come close enough for you to trap him. Commander, it's Galvin.
Galvin?
Yes, sir. He's running toward us.
And he's all alone.
Galvin, Pfister's ship? That's impossible.
Take a look, Brokaw. Recognize him?
It is Galvin.
Come on, Nick. I'll meet him. Get moving, Brokaw.
Hi, Galvin.
Happy. I'm certainly glad to see you. I was afraid I'd never see you again.
The feeling was mutual.
Commander, you got him. You got Brokaw.
Yes, but until you showed up, I wasn't sure we could hold him.
His partner Pfister is locked up in the ship. And by the way, the Terra 5 is on Jupiter's third moon where Pfister hit it. That's where I caught him. Commander, you and Happy look pretty sick.
I suppose we do. Brokaw managed to expose us to the weed of the sick. We've got to get treatment right away. That's just the trouble. There isn't a drop of the remedy on me.
Yes, there is, Happy. There's a supply aboard Pfister's ship.
Wow, Gelwin, you're sure a lifesaver. Certainly are. I don't know how we can repay you.
It'll be easy. Just turn Brokaw over to me.
No, Commander, no. Don't do it. You caught me. I'm your prisoner.
Well, what's the matter, Brokaw? Don't you want to go back to Tolarma? We'll make a trade, Gelwin. You turn Pfister over to me, and you can take Brokaw.
It's a deal. Come on, Commander. You and Happy better get some of that remedy into you right away.
Okay. I feel a lot better knowing that the people in your solar system and in ours are safe in Brokaw. Same here. Uh-oh. Brokaw, you better watch it. There's a wasp on the back of your neck.
Ah, you fool. How many times do you think you can trick me with that stupid lie? Get it off, thing. Get it off.
It's all right. It's flying away.
Oh, my neck. Oh, the pain is terrible.
I feel for you, Brokaw. You know, it sure must be awful when a pain in the neck gets a pain in the neck. What's new? Nestle's new. Nestle's what? Coconut. Nestle's luscious new coconut bar. That's for me. It's such a superb flavor combination. Thick, sweet, smooth milk chocolate and fresh toasted coconut. So delicious and such fun to eat because it gets crisper with every bite. Just talking about it makes my mouth water. Me too, Commander. Whenever I think about that sensational, creamy, rich, crisp-eaten coconut bar, I get completely carried away. Can't concentrate. Can't work. And there's only one cure. What's that? Why, eating a Nestle's coconut bar, of course. That fixes everything. Good idea, huh? Let's all have one. Space Patrollers, you'll really go for Nestle's wonderful coconut bar. Smoking Rocket, you'll go for all Nestle's delicious chocolate bars, and especially our new favorite, coconut. Because, you know, Nestle's makes the very best chocolate. You can say that again, Hap. Gladly. Nestle's makes the very best chocolate.
Space Patrol, created by Mike Moser, starring Ed Kemmer as Commander Corey and Lynn Osborne as Cadet Happy, was written by Lou Houston. Produced and directed by Larry Robertson. Executive producer Helen Moser. Other players were Virginia Hewitt, Ken Mayer, Bela Kovac, and Isa Ashdown. Dick Tufeld speaking. This week's Space Patrol was brought to you by Nestle's Eveready, the Instant Cocoa, Nestle's Prick for great chocolate milk, and famous Nestle's chocolate bars. This program is broadcast for our armed forces overseas through the worldwide facilities of the Armed Forces Radio Service. Space Patrol came to you transcribed from Hollywood.
This is ABC Radio Network.